We welcome you to Grand Park Sports Campus in Westfield for the Gridiron Gang Championship Night. Along with Jim Leisure, I'm John Herrick. We've got the 3rd and the 5th grade championship games coming your way on the ISC Sports Network. And the first one features the Brownsburg Bulldogs against the New Era Gators. Along with Jim Leisure, I'm John Herrick. Thank you so much for being with us here on this Tuesday night. A little bit about how both of these teams have got to this point. Brownsburg is the 1 seed, New Era is the 2 seed. Both of these teams are undefeated, Jim, and both these teams have played very well defensively to get to this point.
Yeah, we've really seen some good football, John. I mean, I know some folks may be tuning in and saying 3rd graders, 5th graders, are you serious? But believe me, these are the cream of the crop, the best of the best. It's decent football for this age group.
And again, this is where they start to have building blocks. This is where they start to develop their skill set of what they need to do to get into the future. And with that, we want to welcome in all of you who are tuning in on Comcast 81 to watch what should be a very competitive night between the 3rd graders and the 5th graders coming up here on the ISC Sports Network. And so, Jim, we got New Era, who's got on paper a lot more players on their roster. Brownsburg certainly has a lot of talent as well. It should be a very interesting game in our 3rd grade contest.
Yeah, you know, and at this level, John, for the viewers, there are some changes. Obviously, there's no punting, there's no kickoffs. When a team, if it's 4th and 8 or 9 and you decide you want to turn the ball over, you just declare to the officials, they walk off 20 yards and the other team gets the football. No kickoffs, that kind of thing. It'll be interesting to see with these 2 very competitive teams, John, what the overtime rules are. Are they the same as they are in high school, or how that works? We'll see.
Our game coming up after this one, there was a tie before, so we'll see how they decide that. So Brownsburg is the team in purple on your screen. New Era is the team in orange. One thing we want to do before we get started here, one of the players for Brownsburg, Isaac Holtman, who you're going to see play on both the offensive and defensive lines. His dad, Matthew Holtman, is watching from Iraq, you know, defending our country. He is a soldier in the military, and he's watching this game at 2 a.m. where he is, Jim. So, Captain Matthew Holtman, we're so glad you're tuning in from overseas.
Absolutely, and you know, again, there's all kinds of grandmas and grandpas and family members all across the country tuning in. But you're right, again, Captain Holtman is certainly one of our special guests.
We'll read off the players for both teams to let you know who we'll be seeing tonight. Cannon Highbaugh, Trey Edgington, Cooper Owens, Beckham Reynolds, Mason Spector for Brownsburg. Other players for Brownsburg, Matthew Bell, Bronson Betts, Isaiah Duncan, Bo Lewis, Isaac Holtman, Trenton Kivett, Jason Johnson, Barrett McFarland, Michael Bonich, Emery Sale, and Aaron Mosley. For New Era, Braden Morris, Owen Hope, Amari Blake, Dorian Prather, Charles Griffith, Carter Evans, Keaton Hudgens, Giovanni Scruggs, Antoine Hutchison, Tyler Moore, Michael Hicks, Anthony Brewer, TJ Phillips, Diamante Jones, Jaden Phelps, Richard Maher, Jamarian Gregory, Kendrick Williams, Will Tyler, Cameron Miller, Josiah Baxter, Kyron Smith, Josiah Bowman, Denham Rush, Kevin Battle, Lamar McNary, and Macon Hubbard. And there is Lance Scheib on the screen there, who you see there, a very key contributor to the ISC Sports Network, has helped put on these Gridiron Gangs every year. He does the flagship game on MyNDTV every Friday night with Greg Rakestraw, and been a longtime high school football coach in this era, and also does a lot for the state finals on the IHSAA Champions Radio and TV networks. He has given the thumbs up, and we are all ready to go here from Grand Park for our 3rd grade championship game. And we start off with Beckham Reynolds under center. And a whistle, and right away we have a false start. Now we had this situation, or did we see a timeout? Okay. So before they could be called for a false start, a timeout was taken. Now the situation with timeouts is you have 3 timeouts that you can use per half.
Yeah, I think they were trying to draw them off sides there, John, and then the head coach of Brownsburg, Josh Reynolds, decided, you know what, I better call the timeout before we get a delay of game. So nice poise on the New Era defense. Normally kids are all fired up. They're ready to go.
And here's the handoff. And New Era smothers it very, very well. One of the guys in there on the tackle for them was Cameron Miller. The handoff there was to Cannon Highball.
Yeah, I saw Cameron Miller, and I believe also Jamarian Gregory Jr. was there as well. I think it was a couple orange blurs, basically.
And you start from the 30. So with that 2-yard loss, that backs him up to the 28. Handoff on the end around goes to Isaiah Duncan. Duncan nowhere to go. Excellent defense by New Era again. This time Anthony Brewer comes up, number 30 on your screen, making a nice play.
Well, they try to go with the old jet sweep. Nice play normally, but you got to beat that defensive end outside linebacker, and they did not.
Backs him up to the 25, so that makes it 3rd and 15. The clock runs while we are in play, unless a timeout is called. Also, if there's an injury, they will stop play as well. Half times are only 5 minutes long. Highball's lining up off to the right there. And pitch to Duncan. Duncan with a nice stiff arm. Duncan still going, staying in bounds, and taken down from behind by New Era's Richard Maher. So they get some of that lost yardage back. They get back to the 30 on that 5-yard pickup, but it's 4th and 10. And so this might be a situation where you see Brownsburg decide to punt. Figuratively, of course, they're not going to actually punt, but give it back to New Era, 20 yards behind the line where the first down marker would be. And that is what Brownsburg has elected to do. So New Era coming up with their first possession of the contest.
And John, just for clarification, it looked like they walked off 25 yards. So that must be yesterday it seemed like there was some confusion whether it was 20 or 25. They just walked off 25. So we'll see if that stays consistent.
Also for point after attempts, if you go for it from the 3-yard line, that is a 1 point after attempt. If you go from the 5 and get it, it is considered 2 points. So you're not going to see any kicking at this level. Also, one thing about third graders are on the field with their coaches. And as you get older, especially into the 6th grade level, the coaches are on the sidelines more, letting the kids decide more about what they're going to do by themselves on the field. But at this level, for 3rd grade, the coaches are out there helping them with the play call.
Yeah, and that's the natural progression of things. I think by the time kids are in 6th grade, you have to give them a little bit more of the responsibility.
Will Tyler is the center. And there's the handoff from T.J. Phillips, the quarterback, to Diamante Jones. Jones able to move up the field and pick up a few yards, taken down by Beckham Reynolds. Gain of about 3, 2nd and 7.
Like Cannon Highball was in there as well. Just a regular old football play. One team gains 3, the other team stops them. So it's the offense feels like they want it, the defense feels like they want it. And you'll see that a lot in the typical football game regardless of age.
And Brownsburg on Sunday won their semifinal over Westfield 18-0. Phillips with the handoff again to Jones. Jones with a nice move. Breaking off tackles. Jones has the first down into Brownsburg territory. And there's Cannon Highball making another stop for Brownsburg, but Jones running well, Jim.
Yeah, not before he was able to get the first down. You see a nice kick out block there, and just a nice break of a tackle there. And just breaks another tackle, has to kind of pull his drawers up there a little bit, but he got him up and was able to get the first down.
That is a gain, by the way, of 19 yards on that run by Diamante Jones. And Jones stays in the backfield with T.J. Phillips. Again, throwing the football at this level, also a little adventurous, so you'll see a lot of handoffs. Doesn't mean you won't see throws from time to time. You'll see a lot of jet sweep action coming near side with it. Charles Griffith on the handoff. Highball again in there on another stop, helped out by Trey Edgington and Bo Lewis. So 2nd and 8 after that 2-yard gain.
I like the little jet sweep action out of shotgun there. You just go ahead and you snap the ball. You have a man in full speed motion from right to left. And again, you can either choose to pen the defensive end, either with a reach block or a down block if you've got an H-back or a wing, or you can choose to outrun him. And either way, he really didn't get the job done and was only able to pick up about a yard and a half.
Now in the backfield for New Era is Dorian Prather. And Prather looks like he is going to be the quarterback on this play. Prather gets the snap and moves. He's got running room in front of him. Breaks by one defender, has blocking. Prather keeps moving. Down he goes. Inside the 25 to the 23, but there is a flag in the backfield, and the New Era coaches don't look happy, so it looks like it might be against them. We'll see what this flag is about.
That flag's laying on about the 39-yard line. It's thrown in the area where it's normally holding, and it is, in fact.
Yep.
We'll see if we can see it. High school level, and these kids, for the most part, play high school rules, modified high school rules. They don't announce a number. It's just marking off the penalty.
So you went from having 2nd down and 8 to 2nd and 18, backing them up.
It looked like there may have been a little bit of a hold right there at the point of attack. It turned into a block in the back, but there is a thing called the free blocking zone, which stretches from offensive tackle to offensive tackle, and basically a yard either side of the line of scrimmage, and you can block in the back, but you can't hold.
And Charles Griffith is now in at quarterback for New Era. Griffith rolling, has the ability to get some of that yardage back. Tackled down by Brownsburg's Trey Edgington and Beckham Reynolds. So he's back near the original line of scrimmage. Gain of 7. That makes it 3rd and 11 for New Era.
So far, all the backs for New Era have got just a certain amount of shiftiness where they're making people miss, and that's tough. You know, when a kid has that left and right, east and west ability to make people miss, and then you add a stiff arm to that, makes it pretty difficult to bring them down.
5 minutes to play. Again, clock runs, which makes penalties, by the way, even more costly because clock does not stop on penalties. New Era trying to get a lot of guys, different action at quarterback. Might have a bit of a helmet issue. Referee comes over and helps one of the New Era offensive linemen with it. And they've got TJ Phillips back in there at quarterback, and Phillips trying to run to the outside. Phillips moving, or that is Charles Griffith. And he goes down at about the 36-yard line. Another flag is down, though.
Yeah, we'll see.
This may be coming back.
Yeah, again, it was thrown by the back official, whose responsibility. Again, I think they're going to call it right there. You see, I'm trying to get a number, 32. He would have been out of that free blocking zone. They may call a block in the back.
That is listed as Kevin Battle. So 2 tough penalties here for New Era has backed them up now all the way to their own 33-yard line. So you've gone from, they were as far as the Brownsburg 43. Now they're back at their own 33.
Well, you know, John, at every single level, regardless if it's the NFL or college or high school, penalties kill you. And this obviously is beginning to look like it may kill this drive.
It is 3rd and 26 after all of that. Taking a look at Cannon Highbaugh, number 2 on your screen, along with Beckham Reynolds. You'll see those 2 guys for Brownsburg in there a lot on both sides of the ball.
A lot of teaching going on in this game. You just see the New Era coach just kind of lining people up correctly. You know, the officials do a lot of coaching out here too, John.
Yep.
I mean, they'll tell the kids, hey, son, you can't do that.
And jet sweep and around Hutchison, or rather, that is Denham Rush. Denham Rush with a nice move. Denham Rush down the sideline. Rush stays in bounds and able to get back a lot of the lost penalty yards. Now it's 4th down and about 6. So New Era's got a decision to make thanks to that big run by Denham Rush.
Well, and I think you just go for it here. I don't think it's much of a decision because you've been getting huge plays. You just unfortunately been getting driven back by your own penalties. But if I'm coaching New Era, I'd just go ahead and go for it.
So they got to the Brownsburg 37 from the 33 of New Era. So that is a gain of 30 yards by Denham Rush on that carry. And that makes it now, or rather, excuse me, I did the math wrong there, 20 yards. But still, it's 4th and 6, and it's very manageable here.
Yeah, I think, you know what, I might try to jump, long count them, get them to jump off sides, but you got to be careful you don't get your own kids off sides.
Well, looks like they might have been able to draw Brownsburg off.
Nice job. Great poise on the New Era kids. That's hard to do. I mean, I coached 26 years at the high school level, and there were times when I had teams I couldn't do it. We just couldn't do it. Our kids just weren't poised enough, and I don't know if this is going to be close enough to measure or not. We'll see what the officials do.
That got to give a lot of credit there to Dorian Prather, who is the New Era quarterback, who used that hard count. There he is, number 5 on your screen.
Looks like they are going to stop the clock, John, I think, for the measurement. It's close. Yeah, and they actually, I don't know if they'll put it back on, but he originally blew it dead at 126, and there's 121 on there. We'll see if he puts it back on there.
So short enough that it is 4th down.
Well, I think 4th and not much. Now, this is one of those deals where you probably want to get under center. I see this at every level, even in the NFL. It's 4th and 6 inches. You line your quarterback up in shotgun, snap him the ball, and all of a sudden it's 4th and 6 just by snapping the ball. So I'd put the quarterback under center and just try to push the pile forward. No splits, have my offensive lineman foot to foot, and just wedge them out of there enough to get 6 inches.
Prather is the quarterback. They've used several different young men on this drive at the QB position. Prather does quarterback sneak it. Looks like he's got it with ease.
Yep, that's all you need. Nice job.
This is quite a drive here that New Era is putting together. They've had it for nearly 10 minutes of action. This will be the 7th play of the drive coming up. And they've got a 1st and 10 now at the Brownsburg 30-yard line.
Yeah, and really, I mean, nice job of coming back from those penalties. I mean, that was 2nd and really what amounts to a mile.
Yeah, we had a couple of holding penalties. They overcome all of it. Prather remains in as the quarterback. Diamante Jones is the running back. Prather takes the snap, hands it off. Breaking off a tackle is Griffith once, twice, but not enough as the Brownsburg defense eventually got in there. High ball again. There he is, number 2. He was helped out once again by Trey Edgington, and that takes us to the end of the 1st quarter and our 3rd grade championship game. Back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network and Comcast 81.
Genesis Sports Performance is a private sports performance facility located in Indianapolis at 65th and Benford. Genesis is housed in a spacious 7,000 square foot facility with a state-of-the-art weight room and expansive turf area designed to help both athletes and adults achieve their true potential. The certified coaching staff at Genesis has a wide variety of experience, having worked with numerous professional athletes, youth athletes, and adults from different training backgrounds. Genesis Sports Performance programs are individually designed to improve speed and explosive strength, whereas the adult fitness programs are centered around improving body composition. To find out more, log on to GenesisSportsPerformance.com.
Before we start the 2nd quarter, we want to remind you that the original Gridiron Gang believes budget limitations should not lead to football limitations. Go to theoriginalgridirongang.com and click on the Foundation tab to learn more about how their training services can be provided at limited or no cost to underrepresented communities and to members of military families. The original Gridiron Gang, developing skills both on and off the field. 2nd and 18 after that loss of yardage before the end of the 1st quarter. Prather on the quarterback keeper, able to get some of it back to about the 36, only a couple. So it's 3rd down and 16. Good tackle there by the man on your screen that you see, Trenton Kivett for Brownsburg.
Yeah, Kivett's the one that kind of knocked him off balance. That was just an old-fashioned quarterback ISO. Snap the ball to quarterback, lead the single back. Just kind of like in the old days when teams had fullbacks and tailbacks, only now we do it out of shotgun.
Do you think, Jim, as a former coach yourself, is it easier to hand the ball off from the shotgun or under center? What do you think is easiest there?
You know what? Again, both of them have their pros and cons, and it looks like there's going to be a timeout on the field here.
It looks like Brownsburg is taking it, and if they are, that is their 2nd timeout of the half. Because remember, they had one that they used right at the outset.
Well, this may be an injury timeout, though, as you see.
Oh, okay, you're right.
Beckham Reynolds kind of limping off the field.
Well, that is the last thing you want to have happen. Don't want to have anybody get hurt. So they had to stop the clock at 11:17. Like I said, clock will stop on injuries. It will stop on timeouts. It will stop for things like measurements. But then once that is over, we go on. I think there's a limited amount of coaches that are allowed to be on the field at once.
Yes.
This New Era had, I think, 4 coaches out there, and the ref said, no. You got enough coaches in the huddle already. Dorian Prather has to go back and get the play call from his coach. Again, that's part of the reason why they're out there. Prather's made some big plays in this game already. Swing it to Denham. Rush keeps going. Now a flag is down. So
yeah, it's going to be another hold again. Right at the point of attack, you just got to keep those hands inside. I coached offensive linemen for 26 years, and it can be a battle teaching them how to keep their hands open. You can't grab jerseys. You can push, you can get into somebody, all right, but you can't just bring them to the ground. And you see a Brownsburg player just getting tossed to the ground there. That was 57 Barrett McFarland being literally tackled. I mean, that was almost a defensive play.
By the way, how about the lick Trey Edgington put on at the end of that play for Brownsburg? And yet, this has been the story of the first half. New Era backing it up because of penalties.
Yeah, they probably got about 100 yards of total offense so far, and somehow they find themselves still on the other side of midfield.
It is 3rd and forever. They need the 20-yard line of Brownsburg for a first down. So it is 3rd and 31. Snap to Griffith. Griffith is quick. Nice stiff arm for a moment, but then a good job by Brownsburg's Matthew Bell to hang on there to bring him down. So that is, at least it gets him back into New Era territory, but again, it's 4th and way too long, so New Era is punting it back to Brownsburg.
Well, if New Era can clean up the penalties, they obviously, you get your kids over the sidelines and you tell them, guys, we had a nice little drive there, but way too many penalties. We're shooting ourselves in the foot. So, you know, you try to clean that up. And, you know, there is, just so folks know too, there was a lot of confusion on the jerseys when both teams showed up today. They both had red, and obviously you can't have that. So we had rosters with the red numbers and names on them, and we had to switch everything to purple and orange. And a lot of times those numbers did not match up. So we're doing the best we can here.
Yeah, so if you are a relative of someone watching these kids from home, and you know parents or friends who are at the game, and there's a correction you want us to know about, please text them and come and tell us, and we'll make that correction, because we want these kids to get the recognition that they deserve. Beckham Reynolds with the quarterback keeper here. Up the middle he goes to the 24-yard line, picking up 4. It is 2nd down and 6.
So Beckham looks like he's recovered from that injury that caused him to limp off defensively. A lot of times, John, you know, a lot of these football injuries are kind of like stubbing your toe. They hurt, and you just got to go walk it off, and pretty soon it starts to feel a little bit better and you get back in.
Beckham goes under center this time. High ball, the deep back. Fake it to high ball, give to Duncan. Duncan shoved down, well defended by New Era. Anthony Brewer comes over there. There you see Brewer loving every minute of that, saying, feed me, I'm ready to make the tackle.
That does a nice job of running it down from behind. This is an off a counter kind of reverse, and he just stays on that good path. And again, had he not been there was help on the way there. Number 1, Braden Morris, and number 24, Tyler Moore, also there. So team defense, you know, you always tell people there's 8 gaps. You tell your kids there's 8 gaps. We have to control all 8 of them. We got 3 extra players to clean things up.
So it is 3rd and 8. Might see behind him Zionsville and the New Era 5th grade team warming up, getting ready for the 5th grade championship game coming up after this one. Defenses continue to reign supreme here. Cannon Highbaugh, another carry, not much to work with. Jaden Phelps in to knock him down, but again, he got to the 25. So that's a gain of about 3. That makes it 4th and 5. again, you're back in your own territory so deep, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, watch the long count here. If you're New Era's defense, you got to tell your kids, watch the football, don't move. You know, you had asked earlier about is it easier to hand off under center or under shotgun. In that particular case, he was under center, and he crashed into the running back. So it really just depends on your kids and what your offensive system is.
High ball, the deep back. Duncan goes in motion. He's trying that hard count. Did it work?
It did not. Timeout Brownsburg.
So Brownsburg has used their final timeout of the first half with 6:18 to play in it. That is where the clock will stop for a moment. And while we have a moment, we'll remind you that Not Today was founded in 2019 by Indianapolis Colts head coach Frank Reich and his wife Linda. Not Today envisions a world which cherishes and protects the beauty and innocence of every child. Not Today's work would not be possible without partnerships from donors who believe in the mission. Find out more at nottoday.org. That is KNOT today.org.
You know, John, I think that one timeout for Brownsburg was an injury timeout that was the official, so they may have one left.
Okay, and they have decided to punt it away back to New Era. So New Era gets it, again, 25 yards away, like Jim said before, to their own 40-yard line. So Brownsburg had it for a couple of minutes, so both teams have had it now. Brownsburg's had it twice, New Era has had it once, and defenses have won the day so far.
And of course, the clock is stopped right now because there was the timeout by Brownsburg.
Again, New Era can use their timeouts, though. They've got plenty left. Prather is the quarterback, and he hands it off. Not much room to go. Diamante Jones trying to get outside, and that Brownsburg defense said no way. Nice play by Trey Edgington, his fourth tackle of the first half. And they had a clock issue.
Yeah, they're waving it. They're trying to get it started here. There it goes, there it goes. And number 15, Isaiah Duncan, was also there too, John. Nice job.
Again, Duncan, another one of those two-way players for Brownsburg. Prather remains in at quarterback. He sends Keaton Hudgens in motion. And here goes Prather. He's got some blocking, but man, Cannon Highbaugh's got some closing speed, doesn't he?
He sure does. He just went in there and just very good fundamental tackle there. Use that shoulder pad, put it in the sternum, wrap the arms, run the feet. You'll see the replay here. Boom, right there.
It is a 6-yard gain on the run, so it's third down and manageable.
Yeah, if you're New Era's coaches, I mean, honestly, if you can get 3 or 4 here, you may think about going for it, because so far Brownsburg has really not been able to move the football much at all. You'd be giving it up at midfield, but so far that hasn't been a problem.
And Charles Griffith out of the Wildcat. Griffith down the sideline. Griffith with a stiff arm. Griffith still going, and Griffith finally tackled at the end there by Cannon Highbaugh. So Highbaugh saves what was probably a touchdown there, as my goodness, he got loose in a hurry.
A really nice job by Charles Griffith, just literally making people miss. You're going to see the replay here. Nice blocking up front. He's got his hole now. He's going to break to the sidelines and try to turn it up. Makes one guy miss with a straight arm. Now watch this one here. Whoop! Just makes 2 guys miss, breaks an ankle, and then Highball says, I've had enough of this, and comes over and knocks him down.
That is a 28-yard run, so it is 1st and 10 for New Era. Dorian Prather, his coach is tying his shoe before he gets back over to the line of scrimmage. He's got Diamante Jones to his right. In the slot right is TJ Phillips. Prather keeps. Prather up the middle, taking punishment, but also taking defenders with him. Inside the 20, they put him at the 17. So that is a solid gain there of about 7 yards. It's 2nd and 3 for Brownsburg.
And I believe that was Bronson Betts. Yeah, for New Era. Yep. I believe that was Bronson Betts there on the tackle. And, one of the things you had talked about, John, with earlier, maybe even off air, was where's the balance between developing players and trying to win the championship game. It looks to me like the New Era coaches have decided to go with Prather at quarterback. They've had 3 or 4 different kids, and that's fine. That's great. That's good player development. But at some point, you got to decide, do we just try to win the football game?
And I think they've got the combination they want at quarterback, at least for this game, of Prather and Griffith, because they got Griffith back there now. Griffith takes the snap. Griffith rolls away. Griffith gets knocked down, though, this time. This time Brownsburg able to read it much better. Matthew Bell able to take him down. Also, of course, I know you're surprised to hear that, Highbaugh in on that play as well. 3rd down.
Yeah, they had him around the ankle, so the forward progress has been stopped, and that can be a dangerous play. Young man's got his ankles tied up, and then somebody comes by and cleans him up. You can really get hurt. So the officials wisely and appropriately blow this dead. You're going to see right here, he's got his ankle, and you don't want to see the kid just get mauled. So they blow the whistle. You see the official saying, "Hold up, hold up."
All right. Yep.
Good officiating there.
Clearly 4-down territory. And this is Prather. Prather gets to the outside. Prather, though, tossed down. Ball comes out, but I think New Era's got it. So it looked like Highbaugh knocked it free, and Hudgens fell on it. So good job there by Keaton Hudgens to fall on the loose ball.
Yeah, you're gonna see the little swipe right there, just like they teach it in the NFL. And again, looks like there was a flag on the ground as well. I didn't see that until we saw the replay.
So now, what's been the problem for New Era is it kind of tends to happen on these outside runs, Jim. That's where they seem to have these penalties. Yeah, and
you'll see that a lot at the high school level, perimeter runs. And here's the deal. You can hold a little bit if you're the guard or the center or the tackle. There's a big mass of humanity, maybe doesn't get seen. But when you hold on the perimeter, when you're out there in front of everybody, you're just out in the open, pretty easy call. And, as a coach, we used to tell our kids, look, you guys, if you're going to hold, you got to have a 50, 60, or 70 number on, meaning you got to be playing the interior line. Because 81 out there holding, 17 out here holding, pretty easy call for the official to see.
And it's 3rd and 9 after all of that. Coach is looking frantically up at the clock, trying to figure something out here, knowing they got to try to get into the end zone.
Coach checking to make sure he has 3 timeouts. I believe he does.
Yep. We've got him for all 3. Charles Griffith is to the right. Jones is back there as well. Prather is the quarterback. He takes the snap. He tries to go up the middle, breaks off a couple guys, and then goes down. I think the ball came out. Ball looks like it came out. Referee says it is Brownsburg football.
Well, credit the Brownsburg defense. They're going around there again. They're tackling the football. And Brownsburg did use the timeout here just to stop the clock. Remember, normal football rules, the clock would stop. We're going to see the ball pop loose here. There it goes. And I believe it was number 20 for Brownsburg.
Matthew Bell falls on it.
Yep, Bell comes up with it there. But again, normally on a turnover, the clock would stop, but not in this level, not in this tournament. So Brownsburg's forced to use their last timeout. Now, you got 25 seconds to play before the half. You really haven't moved the football very well at all. You may want to try that halfback pass, that double reverse, that thing you've been working on all year long.
See what head coach Josh Reynolds for Brownsburg decides to do here. Of course, I would bet Cannon Highbaugh is going to be involved somehow. Isaiah Duncan might get a look too.
Yeah, you got enough time here probably for 2 football plays because, again, no matter what, whether you go out of bounds, whether it's an incomplete pass, whether you get a first down, doesn't matter. The clock will roll and you don't have any timeouts.
The handoff comes to Mason Spector, and Spector's got nowhere to go. New Era's defense fantastic. Braden Morris and Tyler Moore come over there to make the tackle. That Brownsburg is out of timeouts, so the coaching staff says that is the end of it, and that concludes the first half, which is scoreless here in our 3rd grade championship game from Grand Park in Westfield. We'll be back with your halftime show and much more when we come back in just a moment on the ISC Sports Network and Comcast 81.
The Gridiron Gang is excited to now offer quarterback development training led by professional quarterback coach J.C. Boyce. From the beginner just getting started to the experienced seeking advanced refinement, Coach J.C. has worked with NFL, NCAA, high school, and youth quarterbacks. The fully comprehensive programs include both on and off-field training with an age and skill level appropriate small groups. Coach J.C.'s personalized approach accelerates the quarterback's learning curve and overall self-confidence.
Hey, Coach fans, it's your favorite quarterback hater, Rob Mathis, number 98. To date, the Gridiron Gang Foundation and I have provided over 300 scholarships to Indiana youth athletes with on and off-field life skills development. Our scholarship program has been transformational for many families. Donate today for a chance to watch a Colts game with Robert in the Gridiron Game Field Suite at Lucas Oil Stadium. Text Mathis to 765-739-GANG to donate today. Go Colts!
Legacy is about sharing what you have learned and what you leave behind when you put the people you serve first. Dr. Donald Shelburne became a doctor to help athletes recover from knee injuries. That single focus has helped thousands of athletes continue to follow their dreams over the past 35 years. Dr. Rodney Benner understands what patients with knee pain want. They want to get back to working, playing, and living.
Come meet our family and we will take care of yours.
One focus, proven results.
We are the Shelburne Knee Center.
It is halftime. New Era and Brownsburg in our third grade championship game scoreless. And the original Gridiron Gang believes budget limitations should not lead to football limitations. Go to the originalgridirongang.com. Click on the Foundation tab to learn more about how their training services can be provided at limited or no cost to underrepresented communities and to members of military families. The original Gridiron Gang, developing skills both on and off the field. Along with Jim Leisure, I'm John Herrick. Jim, in this scoreless first half, it's certainly been about defense, but also New Era's had a lot of chances. However, they've had some penalties and also a fumble.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would say, that the story of this half is fumbles and penalties. New Era has had the football. I don't have the time of possession, but they've had it at least 2/3 of the time, if not more. And they've had some nice plays and some nice gains, unfortunately, just not able to capitalize.
And then what would you say are the biggest keys to the second half for both these teams here?
Well, if you're New Era, you got to have no penalties and you got to protect the football. On Brownsburg, you're going to have to do something, some misdirection, some reverses, some counters, things that's going to slow this New Era defense down. You may try another long count, although honestly, in fairness, New Era has been very disciplined on defense. Twice Brownsburg has tried to get them on a long count. Didn't work either time. Forced them to use a timeout. And here at the end of the half, when they needed their timeouts, they didn't have them.
We'll have the second half from Grand Park in Westfield when we come back in just a moment. You're watching the Gridiron Gangs Youth Football Tournament on the ISC Sports Network and Comcast 81.
Genesis Sports Performance is a private sports performance facility located in Indianapolis at 65th and Benford. Genesis is housed in a spacious 7,000 square foot facility with a state-of-the-art weight room and expansive turf area designed to help both athletes and adults achieve their true potential. The certified coaching staff at Genesis has a wide variety of experience, having worked with numerous professional athletes, youth athletes, and adults from different training backgrounds. Genesis Sports Performance programs are individually designed to improve speed and explosive strength, whereas the adult fitness programs are centered around improving body composition. To find out more, log on to GenesisSportsPerformance.com.
The Gridiron Gang is excited to now offer quarterback development training led by professional quarterback coach J.C. Boyce. From the beginner just getting started to the experienced seeking advanced refinement, Coach J.C. has worked with NFL, NCAA, high school, and youth quarterbacks. The fully comprehensive programs include both on and off-field training with an age and skill level appropriate small groups. Coach J.C.'s personalized approach accelerates the quarterback's learning curve and overall self-confidence.
Hey, Colts fans, it's your favorite quarterback hater, Rob Mathis, number 98. To date, the Gridiron Gang Foundation and I have provided over 300 scholarships to Indiana youth athletes with on and off-field life skills development. Our scholarship program has been transformational for many families. Donate today for a chance to watch a Colts game with Robert in the Gridiron Game Field Suite at Lucas Oil Stadium. Text Mathis to 765-739-GANG to donate today. Go Colts!
Legacy is about sharing what you have learned and what you leave behind when you put the people you serve first. Dr. Donald Shelburne became a doctor to help athletes recover from knee injuries. That single focus has helped thousands of athletes continue to follow their dreams over the past 35 years. Dr. Rodney Benner understands what patients with knee pain want. They want to get back to working, playing, and living.
Come meet our family and we will take care of yours.
One focus, proven results.
We are the Shelburne Knee Center.
So, Brownsburg got the ball to begin the game. So, New Era will get it to start the third quarter, along with Jim Leisure and the rest of our fantastic crew on the ISC Sports Network, led by our technical director, Jordan Shue. I'm John Herrick. Great to be with you from Grand Park Sports Campus in Westfield, where the Indianapolis Colts have their training camp. By the way, you probably saw that on the Gridiron Gang commercial that we air. One of the guys you saw leading things from the quarterback academy there is J.C. Boyce, who is the quarterback coach for the Colts. So Gridiron Gang, boy, Jim, in this area, it means a lot to be able to develop these kids.
Yeah, if you have a young man or even a young lady that wants to learn football skills, that's a fantastic organization. Be sure to check them out online and see whether or not your kid fits in. But they have an all-star coaching staff. They really do. In addition to former professional players and current professional coaches, they also have some of the best area high school coaches as well. It's fantastic football instruction. So if your son or daughter are into football, you might want to check them out.
New Era starts off with TJ Phillips in as the quarterback. So they've had 4 different quarterbacks back there. Phillips taking the snap, handing it off to Diamante Jones, who's been the main ball carrier. Brought down by Barrett McFarland as he lunges ahead to the 33, picking up 3 yards, 2nd and 7.
Well, we talked about it at halftime, John. We'll see whether or not New Era can eliminate the penalties and eliminate the loose balls. They've had 2 fumbles get on the ground. 1 was recovered by them. 1 they lost. But the penalties, I know, it seems like they had at least 4, if not 5, really huge penalties that negated huge gains.
Well, remember you said you wanted about time of possession, Jim. New Era had the ball for more than 10 minutes on their first drive. They had it for about 5 minutes on their second drive. So they've had it for roughly 16 minutes or so of
the 24.
Of the 24, yeah. So not a whole lot of opportunities for Brownsburg. It's just, can New Era clean up the penalties? Diamante Jones with the carry again. Wrestled down by 2 guys, Trey Edgington and Beckham Reynolds. Close to a first down. They put it at the 38-yard line.
You're going to see a nice block here by number 6 right there. That is Charles Griffith with a nice seal block. That's, again, we talked about earlier, if you're going to go to the perimeter, you've got to do something. Either reach blocking, which is hard to do. That's even hard to do at the high school level. We used to spend a lot of time with our offensive linemen teaching reach block. Or you got to kind of crack back inside and seal the end that way. And that time, Charles Griffith did a fantastic job.
That's a gain of 5, and that makes it 3rd down and 2 for New Era. Jones remains as the tailback, and they've brought in Dorian Prather as the quarterback this time. So the quarterbacks you're seeing, number 2, number 5, Dorian Prather. TJ Phillips is 2. Also Charles Griffith is 6. And I don't think Prather got there. Prather tried to do a quarterback sneak. Depends on what the official is saying. And now they just came forward and signaled first down. The Brownsburg coaching staff and fans don't agree with it, but they give them exactly 2 yards for the first.
Well, all they need is the tip of the football to get to that yellow line, and that's where they set at number 29, Emery Sale. Nice job there. He's playing that middle guard position, and he just stacked up the offensive line and was trying to wait on his teammates to get there. Good penetration there by number 29. Well, John, we talked about it last Sunday when we were here. A lot of these kids, remember these names. These are the young men that are probably going to be playing for Brownsburg or other various high schools on Friday night here in about 6 years or so.
New Era is bringing back in TJ Phillips. He takes the snap, fakes it once, twice, gives it to Jones. Jones lost the football, and what do we have? They say Brownsburg ball. So yet again, New Era has a good drive going. Jones cannot hang on. It is recovered by Brownsburg and the guy who's there, Isaiah Duncan.
Well, they try a little bit of misdirection and a little bit of, not necessarily trickery, but maybe just a little too much movement behind the line of scrimmage for kids this age. Penetration got through, the ball comes loose, and like you said, Duncan very alertly falls on it.
All right, so Brownsburg's got to go. 39 yards for a touchdown, their best field position they've had all night. Keeper, Beckham Reynolds. Reynolds to the 37-yard line, picking up 2. That is 2nd down and 8. One of the first guys there for New Era was Anthony Brewer.
Carter Evans, number 7, also there, John. That was a little delayed quarterback keep, basically. Quarterback kind of takes the snap, steps back like he's going to drop back, and then just runs to his right.
Cannon Highbaugh back in as the tailback. Remember, he had a touchdown on Sunday. Highbaugh gets the carry. Boy, he's got really good north and south speed, well, overall speed in general, but he does not waste any time finding the hole and getting there. Brought down initially by Jamarian Gregory Jr., who's number 50 in orange. 34-yard line is where they spot him. That is another gain of about 3. Makes it 3rd down and about 4 for Brownsburg.
Big play here. Remember that Brownsburg has tried to long count New Era twice to get the encroachment penalty, has been unsuccessful both times. So if I'm Coach Reynolds, I'm thinking I'm just going to run a football play.
He does, and he just gives it off. He just lets rather Beckham Reynolds keep it. Highbaugh trying to help push him forward to get the 1st down. But again, another nice read there by New Era's Jamarian Gregory Jr. There he is, number 50. He was holding on, knew it. Brought him down at about the 32, or 31 rather. So that's a gain of 3, and it's 4th down and about 1.5 yards.
That's a really kind of advanced play by Gregory there with a slant to his left inside, getting off the blocker.
And Beckham Reynolds, 1st down. And that, you know why he got that, Jim? Decisiveness.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that time, he's been going to the right. That little delay quarterback keep, he's been going to the right. That time he went left, probably because he knew that Gregory was going to slant left and was able to find just enough of a gap.
Also got to love the unselfishness there of Cannon Highbaugh, number 2, saying, hey, if I got to move this guy forward, I will. Help my teammate get the 1st down. Matthew Bell, who plays wide receiver and cornerback, lines up wide to the left here. Isaiah Duncan is the quarterback now for Brownsburg. Duncan with a nice move. And Duncan knocked down by Braden Morris, who had to kind of reverse field and make the tackle, along with also for New Era, that is Anthony Brewer, who helped him out as well.
Well, just basically a bootleg here, and you're going to see a little bit of a juke and a block there by number 6. That's Beckham Reynolds for Brownsburg, and we do have a New Era player down on the field, so the clock will stop with 5 minutes and 46 seconds to play in the 3rd.
That's a gain of about 4 on that run, by the way. Makes it 2nd down and 6.
See the young man on the field there. Coach is tending to him there, and we can't really see a number. Looks like maybe he just got the wind knocked out of him. You can see him breathing hard. Probably one of those deals again where he's just going to have to come out of the game for a play or 2 until he catches his breath, feels better, and can get back in.
By the way, Not Today was founded in 2019 by Indianapolis Colts head coach Frank Reich and his wife Linda. Not Today envisions a world which cherishes and protects the beauty and innocence of every child. Not Today's work would not be possible without partnerships from donors who believe in the mission. Find out more at nottoday.org. Yes, so also going on in the field behind us, the 4th grade championship and the 6th grade championship. Those are the 2 games going on field 2. We are on field 1. Here's a look at what's going on the other field at the moment.
Just a fantastic strip tackle again, man. You drill that all the time. That's a 2-a-days thing. Now nobody has 2-a-days anymore, but when I coached, we had 2-a-days. And you drill that thing and you hope it works, and it did that time.
And inside handoff, well done here to Spector. Mason Spector has a 1st down. Brought down from behind by Carter Evans, but it's enough for a chain mover. They put him at the 17, gain of 8.
Well, that's the misdirection stuff I was telling you about. He lined up as a left H-back. Quarterback rolls left, hands it back to him going right. Just enough to get the defense out of position.
And handoff Highbaugh. Highbaugh, nowhere to go. Good pursuit again. Anthony Brewer's been all over the place defensively tonight for New Era. They do give him the 15-yard line, gain of 2, 2nd down and 8 for the Bulldogs.
And Brewer's one of those guys defensively that offenses just have to know where he is. He's lined up kind of right in the middle, basically the Mike linebacker. When you watch NFL games and you see the center pointing and the guards pointing, they're identifying the Mike, and then everything they do, of course, their blocking schemes are far, far more complex, but everything they do then is off where is Mike. We find Mike, and then we do everything off of him.
High ball, the deep back. They give it to him. High ball. Swallowed up. But he's able, again, that's a nice thing about having a guy like Highbaugh there. This is a good drive for Brownsburg. He does pick up a couple, makes it 3rd down about 6.
Another good player for New Era all night long has been number 24, Tyler Moore. He was in there on that tackle.
This will be the 9th play of the drive for Brownsburg. So prior to this drive, it had been New Era dominating time of possession, but they've had 2 fumbles. That fumble that they had to start off the 3rd quarter has put Brownsburg in this position. Isaiah Duncan is the quarterback, takes the snap, fakes it, uses a stiff arm. Duncan with some room to the edge. Duncan taken down around the ankles there.
Josiah Baxter was there, number 3 was there to kind of stop this play. Good job again by Beckham Reynolds with a nice block.
But he does pick up 5 yards, and that makes it 4th down and about 3, so easily the biggest play of the game right now for both teams.
Yeah, again, if I'm Coach Reynolds, I hate to do it, but I'd have to long count him again. I got to believe the defensive players are just chomping at the bit to stop this big 4th down. And I tell my kids, boys, we're not running a play. We're just going to go long count.
Nope, they run it. High ball. It depends on the spot, but I don't think he got there.
He's going to be short, John, like about a yard.
They read it perfectly. Yard shy of the 1st down. New Era takes over on downs.
So now if you're Brownsburg's defense, again, I got to start taking some chances here. You got them pinned basically in the shadow of their own goalpost. So I start blitzing some people here, try to disrupt things in the backfield, try to cause yet another fumble. I know it's risky, and I get it. If you blitz and you don't get there, it's probably a big game for the other team, but this is as close as you've been to the goal line all night long. And I would just start becoming a little more aggressive defensively and hope my kids can tackle.
New Era takes over from their own 7. 2 minutes on the clock and counting. Brownsburg had the ball for over 6 minutes. I kind of thought, like you said, Jim, I thought they might try the hard count and maybe call timeout, but then again, maybe you want to save those timeouts for the 4th quarter.
Well, it certainly cost them in the first half because they tried it twice, didn't get it either time, and they had to burn timeouts. So obviously sometimes as a coach you realize, hey, you know what, that play don't work, we ain't running it no more. There's no tomorrow, so we don't have to worry about scouting.
Pitch, Griffith keeps it. Griffith's got speed. Griffith makes him move around a defender. Griffith could go. Charles Griffith down the sideline. He gets by him. He's able to evade Bo Lewis, and Griffith goes all the way for a New Era touchdown. Charles Griffith had been getting to the edge all night. Felt like he might break one eventually, and he does right there. Charles Griffith, 93 yards to the house, unless they say there's a flag.
Well, I'll tell you what, there was a whole lot. You're going to see it on a really nice play here. Just gets to the end, basically what I call breaks an ankle right there. And then after this, there's only one man that can possibly get him, and that's Lewis. And Lewis is going to try to dive here, and he's not going to get him. He's going to hit him a little bit. We'll see what the call is, but there was a whole lot of acceleration right there. You see players not necessarily on the field, but if they interfere with the official, it could be a sideline warning. That's the only thing I can see. There were, honestly, at the high school level, it's a lot more clearly marked.
Now they're saying block in the back.
Yep, illegal block in the back, okay. But I'm sure that the official on his side will tell the New Era coaches, hey, guys, you got to give me some room here. You can't be up on that yellow line. In fact, they're supposed to be, if this field's not really marked like a high school field, there's normally a 6-yard white band that the players and coaches have to be behind while the ball's in play.
And again, the clock runs even on penalties, so that takes us down to the end of the third quarter where we remain scoreless. The Charles Griffith touchdown does not count. It is a block in the back penalty, but hey, one more look at it as we go to commercial break because it was so fun to watch. Let's see it again, and we'll be back to start the fourth in a moment on the ISC Sports Network and Comcast 81.
Genesis Sports Performance is a private sports performance facility located in Indianapolis at 65th and Benford. Genesis is housed in a spacious 7,000 square foot facility with a state-of-the-art weight room and expansive turf area designed to help both athletes and adults achieve their true potential. The certified coaching staff at Genesis has a wide variety of experience, having worked with numerous professional athletes, youth athletes, and adults from different training backgrounds. Genesis Sports Performance programs are individually designed to improve speed and explosive strength, whereas the adult fitness programs are centered around improving body composition. To find out more, log on to GenesisSportsPerformance.com.
So let's take a look at where this block in the back happened. We're looking for number 20, and yep, there it is. Okay, yep. And the official threw the flag right there where it happened. So
great camera work by our guys there.
Excellent. I mean, these guys are the best in the business. I know, Jim, you and I work with ISC a lot, and props to them for catching that.
Yeah.
So it's first. Now, here's the thing. You're backed up near your own goal line, so you don't lose a ton of yards, but it does negate what would have been a 93-yard touchdown run.
I run the same play.
It's first and about 12. This is Dorian Prather. Prather fighting his way forward past the 10 to about the 11, so it's second down and about 8. Cannon Highbaugh coming over there to make the tackle. There he is again, number 2 in Brownsburg purple. See if they decide to go back to him again with Griffith. Looks like it's still, well, Griffith looks like he's talking to the coaches. Yep. Let's see if they try that again. Griffith rolls to the left this time and gets taken down. Isaiah Duncan reads it beautifully for Brownsburg, and it's 3rd and long.
Well, there's that blitz I was telling you about. You're just going to have to bring people. There you go. I mean, you got them pinned to the back of their goal line. Just bring people. And the ball almost came loose there.
Loss of 6. So now it's 3rd and about 13. Huge chance if you're Brownsburg to get a stop here. I think you'd have to force New Era to punt, and then you'd get fantastic field position out of it. Extremely important possession here for both teams. Griffith going right this time, and trouble, evades, hit in the backfield. I think that's a safety, and it is. He goes down for the safety. The entire Brownsburg defense reads it perfectly. One of the first guys there, the man on your screen, Beckham Reynolds. Brownsburg leads it 2-0 now.
Well, again, it's the pressure, John. Immediately you're bringing people, you're blitzing people. Nice job. Could not get a number there. Let's see if we do. Though that was 5. Beckham. I'm sorry, no, that was Cooper Owens.
Yeah. Owens got in there.
Yeah.
Beckham Reynolds helped finish him off.
Yep, 5 and 6.
And really the whole entire defense, though, got penetration, and it's a safety. So it's 2-0. Brownsburg leads with 9:36 to go.
And again, Brownsburg will retain just like a regular safety in a real high school game. Normally the offended team, the team with the safety, has to kick off or punt from their own 20-yard line. But here they will just walk off those 25 yards from the original starting point. But Brownsburg will get the football.
And instead of getting it from the 30 like it would be on a kickoff, you get it from the 40. So you get it 10 yards further up the field than you would. So now New Era, though this game is far from over. A lot of time in it, but that time runs quickly off the clock. Brownsburg will try to use a lot of it here. Beckham Reynolds, a little bit of a misdirection play, but New Era was not fooled by it. First guy there, Kevin Battle, takes him down, gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I think the Brownsburg coach is asking, did they have too many guys on the field? But honestly, I think they didn't. I think they only had 10. They were running the 11th guy off the field.
And now New Era.
See, now they only have 10, so now they're running a guy on. So the kid that was running off the field, he did not get off the field, but he was the 11th guy, so he didn't have to get off the field. They actually played that play with 10.
You can play that play with 10 if you want.
Oh, absolutely. I remember years ago in a high school game, referee says, Coach, you only got 10 guys, and I used the line from Hoosier. I said, my team's on the field.
I love it. High ball, and New Era's all over it. Boy, high ball has normally the ability to get free, but New Era's defense has been very fundamentally sound. First two guys there for the Gators, Carter Evans, also Jaden Phelps, and that loses 2 yards back to the 40. So now it is 3rd and 10. It'll be very hard to play keep away from New Era right now.
Yeah, Carter Evans again, a nice job of just standing the runner up and waiting on his teammates to come over and clean him up.
Unreal. I mean, you almost had a 93-yard touchdown run by Charles Griffith for New Era, and instead it goes backwards for a safety. That's because, honestly, both these teams have made fantastic defensive adjustments all game. Credit to the coaching staffs. Isaiah Duncan in at quarterback. I lost the football, and I think the second he lost it, he was ruled down immediately.
Yeah, if he puts his knee down to pick it up.
Yep. Yeah, he does. He put his knee down to pick it up, and once his knee goes down there, that is where the play is dead. So that makes it 4th down, and clearly Brownsburg saying we got to punt it away here.
No doubt about it. I mean, you don't want to give New Era the football that close to midfield. So obviously New Era has shown that they've got big playability, though. So in a way, it doesn't really matter where they get it. They can go 70 yards in one play, or they can go 90 yards in one play.
Still a ton of time to go. 6:40 remaining in this game. Winner of this game claims the 3rd grade Gridiron Gang Youth Football Championship. Coming up next, our 5th grade championship game.
You know, John, if this game stays 2-0, I will take you all the way back to about 1981 in the state playoffs. Franklin Central beat Brownsburg 2-0 in a regional championship game. I remember I was at that game. Bert Austin was the star player for Chuck Stevens. Franklin Central Flashes. Just a whale of a football game that ended up 2-0 in the regional final.
Oh, I've done a lot of football games with you, and weird stuff tends to happen.
It does.
When
Maybe
you
it's
are
me.
here.
Maybe it's me. I'll take the blame.
I said weird. I didn't say bad stuff. just unusual stuff. Dorian Prather, quarterback keeper, up the middle he goes. They started from the 25. They give him the 29. That is a gain of 4. 2nd down and 6 for the Gators.
Yeah, and if you are the coaches for New Era, you got to go a little quicker here. You know, they're running kids in and out. They're substituting, well, and then they're bringing one kid back out. They ran 2 on. They're running 1 back off. And here comes another one off. So the clock's ticking. So, I mean, this is something that hopefully you have time to practice, basically a 2-minute offense where you tell your kids, hey, we get in a tough situation. We're just going to run these 3 plays. We're going to run right. We're going to go on the left. We're going to go up the middle. Let's just go. Let's just go.
Again, by the way, if for some reason our game ends early, we might send you over to field number 2 to show you what's going on there. That's always a possibility. Charles Griffith back in. Remember, see if he can break one loose. Griffith, makes a man miss. Griffith to the outside, breaks a tackle. Tries to cut back inside, and down he goes at about the 35-yard line, close to a 1st down. I don't think they gave it to him, though. Yeah, they're switching the down marker from 2nd to 3rd. He's a yard shy.
Yeah, now look at all these purple shirts here, John. You got all this great pursuit. Don't blame Brownsburg at all. I'd have all 11 of them over there, too. But if I'm New Era, I'm thinking, all right, if you got 11 guys on this side of the ball, we're going to run a reverse, and we're going to see who's staying home back there.
Beckham Reynolds, the man who finally finished him off for Brownsburg. 3rd and a yard. Again, this is definitely 4-down territory. So Brownsburg thinking, got to stop him twice, but this is where they bring in Dorian Prather. They like to QB sneak with him, and they do, but he fumbles the football, and Brownsburg recovers it. The man who falls on it, Mason Spector, and the Bulldogs take over. The 3rd fumble of the game for New Era, and it is the most costly one yet, and you just feel so bad for Dorian Prather because he had the right idea. He had the 1st down, and it just popped out.
he just got hit almost immediately. It's really hard to see who got that great penetration. I don't know if we can see that one more time. It's the nose man who fires in, ties up the center's legs and the guard's legs right there, and he's getting great penetration. And we'll see as he unpiles there. High ball. Who else? High ball.
Of course.
They put high ball at nose man and just let him create chaos.
Reynolds, the quarterback, up the middle he goes, hit hard. Really nice defensive play there made by Michael Hicks, number 12 on your screen. Hicks with a dynamite defensive play.
Yeah.
And New Era, knowing that they've got 3 timeouts to use, they will start to use them now.
And this is that one, tie the ankles and just somebody else comes and cleans the plow. Nicely done.
They give him the 34 of New Era. So that is a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. More important, though, than the down and distance is the score and the time. And Brownsburg has the 2-0 lead. They got a safety early in the 4th quarter. Charles Griffith was tackled inside his own end zone.
We'll see what Brownsburg does. That last formation, it looked like they were going to have the quarterback go right and give it back to the H-back coming back underneath. They're in the same formation here. Let's see what they do.
It is Reynolds. Reynolds handing off high ball. High ball, making a man miss, then taking defenders with him. He knows how to get low to the ground. Michael Hicks holding on for dear life. So is Kevin Battle. And there's timeout number 2 by New Era. So that they move it to the what ends up being the 32-yard line. And it's 3rd and 5 for Brownsburg. So a lot of running there by Highbaugh to get 2 yards. Again, hey, take as much time as you want on each possession.
Yeah, you know, if we could run that back maybe one more time, you can see the ball. Highball kind of has it in his left hand, and he needs to double cover that thing, because if I'm the New Era kids, I'm tackling the football. I mean, we need our own fumble recovery here for New Era.
They've certainly had 3 fumbles, but also they've been penalized 5 times tonight. And those penalties came at big times, especially on the opening drive. Movement up front. Did they get him?
I believe they did.
Yep. That
Finally worked.
Neutral zone infraction on New Era. That is enough for a first down. It was 3rd and 5. They got exactly the 5 yards they needed. 1st and 10 at the 27 for Brownsburg.
Yeah,
so
finally worked, John. They've been trying that all night, and again, you can't fault the New Era kids. They're fired up. They're trying to make a play, like the call by the offensive coaches. You got to know, hey, these guys are chomping at the bit. We're going to get them.
New Era does have 1 timeout left to use, and Reynolds looked like he was going to run around thinking about what to do, and Highbaugh said, no, go forward. we need to get forward and force them to use a timeout. We might have a New Era player down. Oh, that does not look good. And that is Macon Hubbard, who is rolling over, so I hope he's all right. Now this may count. Now they may not force New Era to call a timeout here for an injury. They may just let him. Hubbard's able to shake off his hand and come off.
Yeah, I would bet what happened there was he probably, as he was falling down, tried to catch himself with his wrist. And I'm honestly, John, that's a good way to break your arm. I mean, I've been around football a long time. You know, if you're a kid, you're better off just rolling into that thing, almost judo style, just dipping the shoulder and roll into it. When you try to catch yourself with your arm, now it looks like maybe you got a face mask.
Yeah, it looks like something landed on it.
Yeah.
Now I think what the New Era coaches are asking the referees is, do we have to use a timeout for an injured player here? Or can we conserve that last timeout?
Well, I would think that if they don't call timeout, you get the injured player off, and then you go ahead and you start the clock.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get 40-second runoff here just before I snap the ball, you are anyway.
And if you don't want that, then you got to use the
call
last timeout.
Yep. I guess, honestly, we'll just wait and see. If New Era is able to call one more timeout, then we'll know that they were not charged. But honestly, from the reaction of the coaches, they did not look pleased, so I'm going to guess they must have charged any timeout.
I don't know. I think they. So find out here. Reynolds takes it up the field. Again, getting some yardage to the 23-yard line, gain of 4.
So without the timeout, I'm going to guess they were charged.
Yeah, I think they were definitely charged that last timeout. So,
I mean, it really doesn't matter. I mean, honestly, if you say no, injury, timeout, get the kid off the field, then you start the clock and you let 40 seconds. Well, I don't want that to happen, so timeout. I mean, it's going to be the same thing.
Yep. Brownsburg, of course, not trying to use the entire clock here. Want to be, and there's hard count. I think they got him again.
I believe they did.
Looked like the man who jumped across was Jamarian Gregory. No, they say he was drawn off. So false start on Brownsburg.
Could have been a lot of different things there. Could have been the center moving the football, which is an illegal snap, or what they call a snap infraction. Or it could have been a guard, or maybe just moving his hand just a little bit.
Again, don't go anywhere. Our next game will be the 5th grade championship game. The New Era Gators in 5th grade facing Zionsville.
One thing I can just about guarantee you, John, this game is not going to end in a tie. It's either going to end with Brownsburg winning 2-0 or New Era winning 6-2.
High ball, not much room to work with. They took care of business. Kevin Battle in on the tackle. That was 3rd down. I think that might have been 2nd down. Yeah, so now it's 3rd and long.
I think it's 4th. It's 4th.
Oh, okay. I was going to say
that was
4th.
3rd down. And again, if the referees need to be very cognizant here, and per high school rules, you only get 40 seconds between plays. So the clock was at 59. They can take it down to 19.
Yep. So he says punt it away. And he's saying, yeah, we're punting it away. We don't want to call a timeout and stop the clock. So let's force New Era to have to start deep in their own territory without any timeouts.
And the clock running. So there's a little bit of gamesmanship there, and you can't blame the coach.
Nope.
I mean, he's just taking advantage of the rules as they're written. So again, with no timeouts, New Era probably only has time for one play, John. By the time they get to the line of scrimmage, 13 seconds, they're only going to have time for one.
I bet they try something with Charles Griffith. Maybe. Oh, no, they've got T.J. Phillips back there. They throw it, and it's intercepted. Matthew Bell picks it off, and Matthew Bell runs it back, but a flag is down. A flag is down in the secondary.
We'll see whether or not that was defensive holding or defensive pass interference.
Yeah, it can't end on a defensive penalty. So if this is against Brownsburg, then we got another untimed down. Pass interference on the Bulldogs.
Yeah, we'll probably be able to take a look at it. The ball was just honestly poorly thrown, but still, you still got to play defense, and you're not allowed to hit receivers while the ball's in the air. The ball's thrown.
Yep, there's the pass interference right there.
And again,
and he knew it right away. Yeah. It was Trey Edgington, who's actually had a fantastic game defensively. So that moves it to the 35-yard line now.
And this will be it, John.
So
even if New Era goes all the way to the end zone, whether they give them a try for a PAT or not, I wouldn't. I'd just call it 6-2 and congratulate them.
Here's the thing. I mean, if I'm them, if I'm New Era, I consider something with Charles Griffith. He already had one from 93 yards called back. There he is, number 6 on your screen. You've got Diamante Jones back there with him. Okay, so Griffith is the quarterback on this play. He takes the snap. He rolls right. And he goes down. Cannon Highbaugh, who's made so many key tackles there, makes the tackle to seal the win. And the Brownsburg Bulldogs are your 3rd grade Gridiron Gang Youth Football Champions here at Grand Park.
And again, John, I think for only the 2nd time in my life, and I've played high school football since the late 70s, coached for 26 years and broadcasted for 6 more, and only the 2nd time in my football life, a 2-0 football score.
So Brownsburg wins it. They go unbeaten in this tournament to get here. What a job by the Bulldogs. Coming up, our 5th grade final on your way in a few minutes. You're watching the ISC Sports Network and Comcast 81.
The Gridiron Gang is excited to now offer quarterback development training led by professional quarterback coach J.C. Boyce. From the beginner just getting started to the experienced seeking advanced refinement, Coach J.C. has worked with NFL, NCAA, high school, and youth quarterbacks. The fully comprehensive programs include both on and off-field training with an age and skill level appropriate small groups. Coach J.C.'s personalized approach accelerates the quarterback's learning curve and overall self-confidence.
Hey, Colts fans, it's your favorite quarterback hater, Rob Mathis, number 98. To date, the Gridiron Game Foundation and I have provided over 300 scholarships to Indiana youth athletes with on and off-field life skills development. Our scholarship program has been transformational for many families. Donate today for a chance to watch a Colts game with Robert in the Gridiron Game Field Suite at Lucas Oil Stadium. Text Mathis to 765-739-GANG to donate today. Go Colts!
Legacy is about sharing what you have learned and what you leave behind when you put the people you serve first. Dr. Donald Shelburne became a doctor to help athletes recover from knee injuries. That single focus has helped thousands of athletes continue to follow their dreams over the past 35 years. Dr. Rodney Benner understands what patients with knee pain want. They want to get back to working, playing, and living.
Come meet our family and we will take care of yours.
One focus, proven results.
We are the Shelburne Knee Center.
You know what, my only regret,
we welcome you to Field 1 on the Grand Park Sports Campus in Westfield for the 5th grade youth football championship game here at the Gridiron Games, along with Jim Leisure. I'm John Herrick. Thank you so much for being with us. New era, the Gators, the #1 seed against the Zionsville Eagles, the #2 seed. Both these teams are 3-0-1 in this tournament, and they've played each other once, and in that game, it was a tie. Now, New Era is the higher seed because they have allowed fewer points in the tournament so far. New Era is the team in orange. Zionsville is the team in black. We'll let you know who some of the key players are on both teams. In fact, we'll just run through the whole roster for you. For Zionsville, it's Sawyer Brooks, T.Y. Hilton, Gabe Medvesek, Cole Seabrace, Caden Davidson, Liam Jung, Bo Kaufman, Sawyer Reynolds, Asher Killian, Cooper Couch, Mason Erdl, Jacob Nagel, Logan Willoughby, Nolan Edwards, Gavin Tysing, Liam Moore, Aiden Glass, Ari Salewitz, Teddy Monahan, Cole Kimbrough, Jackson Bulla, Aiden Toole, Cohen Martinez, Matthew Anderson, Covey Melton, Roy Simmons, Colin Hannon, Max Franson, and Tanner Saravin. The head coach for Zionsville is Chris Moore. New Era goes with Dash Baxter, Andres Knowles, who I guess the team also goes by Turbo, and we're supposed to see why here today. So Andres Knowles, also known as Turbo, he wears number 2 in orange. Marion Howard, Demir Smoot, Maximum Wills, Zaire Jackson, Rashad Williams, Jalen Franklin, Courtney Crowley, Anthony Hobson, Tyree Johnson, Philip Cooper, Brylan Willis, Amari Greast. We'll get the rest of the roster in just a moment. New Era with the ball first, and the handoff goes to Zaire Jackson, and they start from the 30 as they do on all the plays here to begin each possession, and he's close to a first down out to about the 38-yard line. That is a gain of 8, 2nd and 2. It is Amari Greast, Michael Williams Jr., Makai Rogers, Jonathan Gilreath, Xavier Highbaugh, Javonte Smith, Timmy Brown Jr., Kevin Welch, Guyon Giles, Williams Jefferson, Kyler Ostein, Dane Bowden, Chris Lamb Jr., Shamar Matthews, Josh Reed, and Tyrell Tolles. Another carry again for Zaire Jackson, and Jackson has a first down across midfield. Good start for New Era, Jim.
Yeah, just 2 basic off-road tackle plays. Lead the fullback. Nice job of being patient in the hole, and Jackson's proving to be a bit of a load to bring down.
Spotted at the Zionsville 45-yard line. Those 2 plays netted what was about 25 yards. Jackson again. What a move by Jackson. Getting to the edge and finally tackled by Logan Willoughby. But Jackson, 3 carries, 3 dynamite plays.
You know, John, I know timeouts are so valuable in a game where they got a running clock, but if I'm Coach Moore, I may think about calling a timeout and setting my defense.
So he has gotten 3 carries already, and he has 54 yards. I formation. Snap to Turbo. Turbo hands it off to Jackson, and Jackson moving the chains for a fumble. No, he fumbled the football. Fumbled the football, and it looks like Zionsville's got it.
I haven't seen an exact nice strip tackle.
Yes. It was knocked out by Mason Erdl, and falling on it for Zionsville, Logan Willoughby. So a huge start to the drive. Bogs down with a fumble, and Zionsville takes over deep in their own territory at their own 8-yard line.
Well, that's one way to stop an offensive drive, is to create a turnover, and that's definitely what they did. Just kind of tackled the football. So Jackson, very good runner. Obviously, he needs to get in traffic. He needs to double cover that football.
Man will be taking the snap here. Liam Moore. Moore keeps. Moore's got good blocking in front of him. Moore tackled by Demir Smoot.
It's about a power running formation as you can get. Your quarterback's in shotgun. You basically have 2 running backs off to the side in front of him. You snap the ball to the quarterback, lead the other 2. Pretty basic football play.
6-yard gain, 2nd down and about 4 for the Eagles. Back there is T.Y. Hilton. Hilton takes the snap, rolling, and is tripped up from behind the line. Excellent defensive play made by Zaire Jackson.
So Jackson kind of showing his ability on both sides of the football. Gets in there and just gets the foot right there.
Loss of 2. That makes it 3rd down and about 6.
Had he not tripped him up, it looked like number 4, Damari Smoot, would have been there.
Again, for those of you unfamiliar, 12-minute running clock quarters, unless there's a timeout or an injury or something like that, or the official calls for time. Each team gets 3 timeouts a half. Big hole up the middle. for Liam Moore. And Moore has a first down. They spot him at the 21-yard line. That is a gain of 8 and a chain mover for the first down.
Amari Greased in there, number 21. Little misdirection there. You take the snap, you fake it to the jet back going left, and the quarterback just keeps it. Goes right behind him.
It's Coach Chris Moore. So as you get older, you get less and less coaches allowed on the field. So you're allowed one coach on the field at 5th grade. In 6th grade, they have coaches only on the sideline, though, that you can go talk to. Liam Moore buried this time. And good job by Philip Cooper to get back there, number 12. And he was also helped out as well by Amari Greased and Brylan Willis. 2nd and long. They spot it at the 19, so that's a loss of 2. Makes it 2nd down and about 12. Another look at it. Snap was a little bit wide. Handoff goes to Bo Kaufman. Kaufman gets some of that lost yardage back and then is dropped at about the 23. That's a gain of 4. Still 3rd down and about 9 and a whistle. We have a timeout called.
New Era has called the timeout here. Apparently, again, just maybe wants to set the defense real quickly.
Don't forget, the original Gridiron Gang believes budget limitations should not lead to football limitations. Go to the originalgridirongang.com and click on the Foundation tab to learn more about how their training services can be provided at limited or no cost to underrepresented communities and to members of military families. The original Gridiron Gang, developing skills both on and off the field. And we mentioned this in our 3rd grade championship game, Jim, but J.C. Boyce, one of the guys who's had a big development, he's a big part of the development there with the Gridiron Gang, quarterback coach for the Indianapolis Colts.
I know Robert Mathis, former defensive player for the Colts, was also very involved as well. And again, just a lot of quality coaches at that particular academy. So if you got a young man or a young lady that wants to learn how to play football the right way, you need to look them up online.
Liam Moore at quarterback, a lot of movement. Now the question is, were they drawn off or did they jump across? They say they jumped across. That is encroachment against New Era, and that just made it 3rd and about 4, because it was 3rd and roughly 9, so 3rd and 4. They move it.
At this particular level, we have 2 linesmen, so you have a linesman, you have an umpire, who is the gentleman that stands behind the linebackers, and they communicate. Did you see any interior movement? Nope. Then I got defensive encroachment.
They're at the Zionsville 29. Moore doesn't like what he sees, so he calls a timeout. So each team has used a timeout now in this first half. And while we have a moment, again, we'll remind you that today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Not Today. Founded in 2019 by Indianapolis Colts head coach Frank Reich and his wife Linda, Not Today envisions a world which cherishes and protects the beauty and innocence of every child. Not Today's work would not be possible without partnerships from donors who believe in the mission. If you'd like to get involved or find out more, go to nottoday.org. That is KNOT today.org.
See a good shot of the Zionsville Huddle there. They got the Eagle emblem on that reminds me of the old 1970s Philadelphia Eagles, the old Harold Carmichael Eagles. White helmet, green eagle wings on the side. Pretty neat.
Liam Moore sends T.Y. Hilton in motion. Hilton gets the carry, and he is spun down by Maximum Wills. Maximum Wills just flies in there and makes a great tackle behind the line. It is 4th down and long.
Well, again, they're coming on the blitz either way, and that might be something that they've picked up from playing them earlier, that when T.Y. goes in motion, we're going to go ahead and blitz right into that motion. If he's going from right to left, we're going to go ahead and blitz off that defensive right side. And if they give it to him, we've got him. If they don't give it to him, then whatever. You know what? Now we just play 10 versus 10, but we're not going to let that very fast young man get the football and get a head start.
Of course, if you followed the Colts in any capacity, you know T.Y. Hilton, the son of the former Indianapolis Colts wide receiver, T.Y. Hilton.
pretty good defensive philosophy. Again, you say, okay, we've seen these guys play before. These two teams have played before. And you say every time they send that kid in motion, we're going to blitz right into it. We're just going to tackle him whether he's got the ball or not. And if he doesn't have it, then we play 10 against 10. But I like my chances better than him having a head start.
Roll out on this. Andre Snalls. Knowles with a nice carry. He stepped out, but Knowles really, saw this in the previous matchup. He had a couple of touchdowns actually called back against Zionsville, and boy, is he quick.
He does a really nice job here. Again, just getting past a little bit of a stiff arm there. You're going to see him step on the yellow line right there. And he's out of bounds, but a nice gain. First down, New Era.
That's a gain of 27 on that run. Again, they call him Turbo for a reason. He can turn it on very quickly. That's a very interesting I formation there for New Era. This handoff goes to Damari Smoot. Smoot trying to get to the edge. Smoot gets to the outside, has the first down and more, chucked out of bounds by Gabe Medvesek, but still enough for a chain-moving first down for New Era.
Yeah, just a poor tackling angle, what we call pursuit angle, toward the football there by Zionsville. They had a couple of defenders there, but they ran out of, they just ran at a bad angle there. They got to understand that when you have people who are faster than you, you have to adjust your angle.
And that is a gain of 13 yards. This time the inside handoff goes to Zaire Jackson. Remember, Jackson had those several big runs at the first drive, but then fumbled. But Jackson this time able to pick up about 4 to the 16, gain of 4, second down and 6 for the Gators.
One of the things I tried to do as a coach, John, when we had a young man who fumbled the ball, is number one, you try to remain positive. You had to be positive with your comments. You have to say protect the football, double cover, use positive comments. Don't say things like don't fumble. Everybody knows that. Be positive and then give him the ball soon enough. Show him you trust him.
Roll out, Knowles. Knowles, this is where he's probably the quickest, and Knowles reaching for the goal line, but a flag is down. So it is a touchdown for the moment, but this might be coming back.
Yeah, we talked about it in the other ball game, John, how holding penalties on the perimeter are just easy for the officials to see. I'm going to guess it's either a hold or a block in the back. We'll get the replay here, maybe pick up a number.
The hard part here about if you're somebody like Andre Snalls is that, he runs the ball so hard and he gets that touchdown that gets nullified, and now he's exhausted because, he just spent a lot of time running. So, Yep, it is a holding penalty on New Era that backs them up to what is the 26-yard line.
You got to block with open hands. Don't grab jersey. Don't grab cloth. And your hands have to be inside the frame of the defender.
Second down and about 16. Knowles rolling opposite way. Has blocking again and takes a tumble, but as he tries to pick up some of that lost yardage back, Andre Snall is going to be a big part of this offense tonight.
Now that time, number 3, Gabe Medvesek, took a little bit better angle, but he still almost missed. But you can see how Medvesek is going to come into your picture here. He's got an angle, but again, the quickness, he's able to bring him down, but he's got to adjust that angle just a little bit more.
3rd and 10.
And that's hard to duplicate in practice. You got your own kids and you run sweeps and different plays against your defense, but it's really hard to simulate speed because chances are your fastest guy's on defense.
Knowles goes under center. Knowles with the handoff this time. Not much there. Gave it to Demir Smoot. Smoot tackled from behind by Matthew Anderson for Zionsville. And, well, you're pretty deep on this side of the field. Maybe you still go for it.
Oh, I think you definitely do. I don't even know. It's a 25-yard punt. Obviously, they're on the 19, so I think you definitely go.
Again, throwing, not the easiest thing to do at this level.
But it gets a little better. We just did a 3rd grade game where I don't know, there was only a couple passes thrown the whole game. At this level, you start to see a little bit more. I'm being told this is called a Maryland I. I've never heard that. We always just called it a triple I, but
Nowhere to go this time. Knowles gets bottled up. I think they knew he was going to do something with it.
Yeah, first guy there was 23, Liam Moore. You're going to see Moore right there. And then he just kind of hangs on for dear life.
And he's trying to strip the ball out. So good job by Knowles to hang on. Also in there as well, Gavin Tysing for Zionsville. But it's a loss of a few yards and a turnover on downs for New Era. Zionsville gets it. If they want to run a play, though, they're going to have to hurry. They are choosing not to do so. At the end of one, Zionsville and New Era scoreless in our 5th grade final. Back in a moment to start the second on the ISC Sports Network and Comcast 81.
The Gridiron Gang is excited to now offer quarterback development training led by professional quarterback coach J.C. Boyce. From the beginner just getting started to the experienced seeking advanced refinement, Coach J.C. has worked with NFL, NCAA, high school, and youth quarterbacks. The fully comprehensive programs include both on and off-field training with an age and skill level appropriate small groups. Coach J.C.'s personalized approach accelerates the quarterback's learning curve and overall self-confidence.
Second quarter about to begin for our Gridiron Gang 5th grade championship. Along with Jim Leisure, I'm John Herrick. It's great to have you with us on the ISC Sports Network and Comcast 81. Jim, both these teams very good defensively. They've already seen each other once, and the game ended in a tie. What adjustments do you think both sides need to make here?
Well, we already talked about the one when Zionsville sent T.Y. Hilton in motion from right to left. New Era just blitzed the guy right at him. Again, you got to look back. I'm going to assume maybe people film these games. You got to look back at the film and see things. Hey, you know what? When we ran that reverse or when we ran that sweep right, nobody was playing reverse. Those kinds of things. Take advantage. At this level, misdirection almost always works. Start right, come back left, or vice versa. Do something in the backfield where you got crossbuck action, where you're faking left and handing right. All kinds of things like that I think could lead to a nice, successful offensive drive.
Zionsville with their second drive of the night. They punted on their first one. So it was before Liam Moore being the quarterback and T.Y. Hilton being the back who got the carry. This time it's T.Y. Hilton taking the snap and handing it to Moore. And Moore had nowhere to go, swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage at the 20 for a loss of 2, second down and 12.
Yeah, both Wills and Jackson there for New Era. So again, it looks to me like every time T.Y. has the football, they just blitz. I mean, I know, like I said, he took it from the snap, but they're going to key on that athlete and make somebody else beat him.
Moore takes care of the quarterbacking duties now. Pressure's coming. Moore in trouble. Gets out of it somehow initially, looking to pass, but sees that he can take off and run, takes advantage of it, and is upended there at the end of that run by Marion Howard. And they give him in terms of the yard line,
enough for the
28-yard line, which is a first down. He got somehow 8 yards out of that.
Well, again, immediate pressure you see on the replay. And right here, he's still looking to throw, but now he says, you know what? I'm just going to go get what I can get. And Howard comes in and takes his legs out.
Correction. Got 13 yards on that run. And here is Moore again. Moore, boy, looks like he kind of just glides past people. And Rashad Williams able to put it into that run. But he is about the 37-yard line. Pick up a 4, second and 6.
Liam Moore just finishes runs. I mean, he finishes with momentum. He's a good-sized kid, so I'm sure he's a little bit of a load to bring down. But you always want your running backs, quarterbacks, wide receivers to finish going toward the goal line.
They bunch it up near the line of scrimmage. Moore follows that left side. And nowhere to go. Excellent pursuit by New Era. First guy there, Maximum Willis, also in there as well. Tyrell Tolles, who's number 79. And they get the 39-yard line, gaining 2. And that makes it third down and about 5.
That's a good look at Mr. Tolles.
In a very critical juncture in this first half. Depending on how much Zionsville picks up, they may be in 4-down territory. However, They also don't want to give it back to New Era with excellent field position. T.Y. Hilton is to the left of Liam Moore. And Hilton's playing quarterback here. He takes the snap and fires down the field. Incomplete, but a flag. Looks like they'll get Dash Baxter, or rather, yep, that'll be Baxter for pass interference. The flag came down immediately. Referee explaining to the coaching staff what it's about. Here's another look at it.
Well, if the pass was underthrown and Kaufman tries to come back for it, and when he does, Baxter ties him up. I mean, it's a good call. It's just unfortunate. Baxter was like, what was I supposed to do? Two players just kind of got tangled up because Bo Kaufman was trying to come back to the ball. But I do think it was the correct call.
Automatic first down for Zionsville. Puts them at the New Era 40-yard line. Hilton comes out as a receiver this time. Moore back to do the quarterbacking duties. And he's got room to work with. Down he goes. 35-yard line on that carry, a pickup of 5.
A really nice effort by Kevin Welch on the New Era defense. He's I believe, a defensive lineman. He did a really nice job of just fighting through and misdirection or changing directions and running that down from behind. That's in there on the defensive end.
2nd and 5 for the Eagles. Moore back in to run the quarterback duties. Rolls right. Moore cannot get away. Excellent pursuit by Zaire Jackson, who's doing it a lot on both sides. Moore's a little bit slow to get up here. Yeah, he's favoring that left foot, it looks like.
A really nice play by Jackson coming off the block and just flat down the line of scrimmage, and again using that sideline as your 12th defender. Looks like
this will be the 7th play of the drive coming up, and we'll see if they decide to go with Moore as the quarterback. The official says my timeout, so he's not charging this timeout to either team, but Moore, I think, is going to come off the field. Yep.
Yeah, he's limping, like you said, when he got up. Now, one of the things on that last play I saw too is Liam needs to see just a little bit, have a little bit more vision as he was going to the right. If he could have just looked back, like straight ahead, he would have had a huge hole. If he'd have planted his foot and gone north, it would have been a huge gain. And that's something that they'll learn. You know, I mean, right now he's a 5th grader, and again, looks like they're just going to carry him off. Coach said, you know what? We're going to expedite this process.
I don't know that I've ever seen that.
Well, you know, in the NFL, they have a little cart, you know, little cart, golf cart looking thing. And,
yep.
Well, that's our version.
You don't want to put too much, don't want to put any unnecessary weight on it.
Sure.
As he gets it looked at. Again, based on what the official said, it doesn't look like he is charging a timeout to Zionsville for this. By the way, as you can tell there on your screen, both teams have used a timeout already. But I think he's also telling them you got to get ready for play, and now the clock winds.
Except that it's
our clock is winding, but the game clock is not winding.
There
we go.
That's all right. You know, again, these are not real scoreboards per se. They're brought in on the back of a little trailer, and sometimes the guy or gal running them is still trying to figure out what the heck's going on.
All right. 3rd down and about 5. Hilton takes over at quarterback. T.Y. Hilton rolls left. Gets to the edge. Hilton's got the first down and more. T.Y. Hilton down the sideline with a stiff arm and out of bounds. Just shy of the 10-yard line, but T.Y. Hilton gets 20+ on that big run, and hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, and credit number 3 there, Marion Howard, who kind of saved the touchdown. You're going to see him coming to the screen late again. We talked about pursuit angles, and he says, you know what, I'm just going to have to give some ground, but I can't let him score. Right there, he decided to change his angle. Was able to push him out of bounds. Nice job.
Spotted out at the 13. That is a gain of 22 for T.Y. Hilton. Also, keep in mind, New Era got the ball to begin the game, so Zionsville gets it to start the 3rd quarter. Hilton from the gun. Got a man back there to his right. Throws it back there, might have a man, and it's knocked away. And he was looking for Sawyer Brooks, and it was batted away by Marion Howard. So Howard takes a good angle to save a touchdown, Jim, and stands tall defensively there.
Yeah, nice job. Nice, you know, again, you can see there, he's not the biggest kid on the field, but he understands the game. He understands things like angles and you know, how to drop back and cover a receiver, and that's all you really need.
Inside 5 minutes to play. The 6th grade championship game is going on field number 2, which is behind us. And back there is Covey Melton, who is playing running back to the right of Hilton. Hilton decides to roll. He's in trouble. Looking, firing, back of the end zone's got a man wide open for the touchdown. Bo Kaufman. T.Y. Hilton hits Bo Kaufman for the touchdown. Looked like he might just keep it and roll with it and run, but instead he fires it to Kaufman for the TD.
And you know, the linemen do a great job. A lot of times when a quarterback gets in trouble here, you'll get linemen downfield, but as that pass was released, I looked, there was not a single Zionsville offensive lineman downfield. So great route, great pass, touchdown Zionsville.
The drive took 8 minutes.
Looks like they're going for 1, John.
Again, if you go for 1, you're going from the 3. If you want to go for 2, you're going from the 5. And they are opting to play this one from the 3-yard line. Hilton with Melton to his right. He takes the snap, he fires, and it's intercepted. And they can't return this, so you can't return it at this level. But still, Andre Snall's excellent play to step in and intercept the pass. So the point after try is unsuccessful, but still, it is 6-0. Advantage Zionsville. And it all was made possible by a T.Y. Hilton 13-yard touchdown pass to Bo Kaufman.
And just to clarify, John, on that rule, you know, these are modified high school, National Federation of High School rules. And in high school football, you cannot advance a point after touchdown try. If the kick is blocked, it's just dead.
It's
the
dead.
Try is over.
Yep.
If it's intercepted, it's dead. The defense has the ball. The try is over.
But in the NFL, you can return.
And college.
Yeah, and in college, you can return 2-point conversion tries. And if you do score them, you get 2 points.
2 points of your own.
Nall's back in at quarterback, handing off to Smoot. Demir Smoot, not much room to work with. Gabe Medvesek, who has been in on several plays so far, makes the tackle there.
Yeah, Gabe just kind of came from his linebacker position and just swallowed him up.
Spotted at the 32, gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Now again, New Era's got 2 timeouts to work with. And Zionsville gets the ball in the 3rd quarter, making this drive for the Gators very paramount. Andre Snall's trying to get to the outside, tripped up. What a play by Caden Davidson. Davidson gets in the backfield, makes the nice play. We have a whistle and a timeout called by New Era.
Really good job of knifing under. That's what we call knifing under a block with that little rip with his shoulder pads and just getting underneath the block and then just tying the feet up.
That's a loss of a yard, 3rd down and 9 for New Era. So, all right, you got time winding down. The clock has stopped with 1:28 on it. And if you are New Era in this situation, Jim, you don't have a lot of time to get a lot of yards, so what do you try to do here?
Well, I don't know if they have any passing game at all. Obviously, Zionsville has made some hay, to use an old phrase, with the passing game. You may try that. You may try reverse. Again, we talked really since Sunday about having these trick plays that you work on all year. Generally, it's the last 5 or 10 minutes of practice. You want the kids to have some fun. You want to end practice on a high note. So you have that double reverse or that reverse pass or the flea flicker or the hook and lateral and whatever it is, this would be a time to pull it out. Otherwise, you might want to think about either forcing Zionsville to use their timeouts and just trying to get into the half down 6-0.
And again, if you're Zionsville and you can get a stop here.
Yeah, take your timeouts. I mean, you get a big stop here, it's going to be 4th and 9. Take your timeout, force New Era into a decision.
Now the quarterback on this play is Anthony Hobson, number 10. Knowles goes in motion. Snap gets by him, falling down, ball still loose. And yeah, that play looked doomed from the start as Hobson just couldn't get anything going. And a whistle and a timeout is taken by Zionsville. Now the clock operator did not start the clock when they were supposed to. Now they're starting it. Now they got to stop it.
Yeah, I think somebody needs to be made aware of this here.
Yeah, because they didn't, because now Zionsville's calling a timeout.
They have already called a timeout.
So you got it. They just let 10 seconds run off the clock when they. I think what they're trying to figure out is how much time would have come off on that play. Okay, so I think they've made the decision that 1:18 is where it should be, because you know the Zionsville coaching staff wants to make sure they're getting the proper amount of time. They still have a timeout to work with. It's 4th down and about 15 at this point, which means that I think this is a punt here for New Era.
Yeah, they have a choice to make here. Now, they could go for it and then force Zionsville to take their other timeout. But then you run the risk of giving it up on your own 27.
Yep, which they are choosing not to do. So, again, 25 yards beyond the first down marker. So still good field position for Zionsville. They get to start from their own 38.
Now this is what I think should happen here. That play was 128, all right, and then you ran and there was a bad snap and the quarterback ran over. The play probably took about 3 seconds. The coach spends a second or two. In my opinion, I'll be 123.
So they've decided to put 128 back on the clock. Well, here's what I know this time. That clock operator better be ready to go because you know New Era is going to want that clock to start, and New Era's got to get their team on the field. That's what the referee's saying. Guys got to get over here.
Well, again, this is still a learning environment.
Yep.
Coaches are coaching, and referees doing a great job. I mean, they're calling the obvious penalties and kind of coaching stuff like this. I mean, honestly, in a high school game, you might have seen an official say play.
And New Era is taking their final timeout. I don't think they liked what they were lining up in defensively. I don't know that they even had 11 guys on the field.
That's what I think it was. And again, when you have a roster of this many kids, again, player development's an important part of it, so you want to try to get kids in the ball game. But again, you sometimes, and I remember when I coached youth league football years and years ago, we had what we called the red offense, and those kids knew who they were, and we had the blue offense, and those kids knew who they were. And that's how we had a red defense and a blue defense, and we would just make calls like that and then hopefully get the right kids on the field. But it can be a chore, especially this late in the season. You probably had some kids who no longer are playing with you for whatever reason, and maybe you got to pick up a player along the way. So it can get confusing just trying to get 11 on the field.
1:28 to play. New Era's out of timeouts. Zionsville's got one left. By the way, for the Eagles, the quarterback, Liam Moore, is back in. Remember, he was banged up earlier. Now he's back on the field. Moore in trouble, flips it out to the outside. Catch made by Kaufman, who made the touchdown grab, and then he gets tackled for a big loss by Dash Baxter.
Really nicely done. I mean, Zionsville lines up in a bunch formation, trips to the right. Everybody in the building, including myself, thought they were going to throw down to the trip set. Probably should have, because it was 3 against 2. New Era really didn't adjust to it. They decided to throw left. Baxter says, you know what? I'm not fooled. He's man-to-man on that back.
That's a loss of 7, by the way. And that's a huge open field tackle made by Baxter. And again, New Era cannot stop the clock. Zionsville, after that loss of yardage, is probably thinking, we're getting the ball to start the third quarter. Maybe we run another play here. See what Hilton decides to do. Moore to his right. Movement up front. Hilton immediately rolls. Decides to keep. Getting to the outside and hit out of bounds. Nice tackle made by Andres Knowles. Number 2 versus number 2 on each side. And it's 3rd down and about 19 after that.
And I believe Zionsville has said, you know what? We've seen enough.
We've had 2 plays on this drive go for negative yardage each time. Coach is still out there, though. And he's using his final timeout here with 3 seconds.
All right, you know, again, this is where you bring out that play.
Saying is, if you don't use them, you lose them.
That's right. Can't take them home with you on the bus.
Got to think T.Y. Hilton's going to be involved somehow.
And I also got to think there's going to be some type of reverse, or this is that big play. This is the one you work on. I don't know that you take a timeout just to run quarterback ISO.
The scoring drive for Zionsville that they had in the second quarter. 9 plays, 77 yards, took 8 minutes off the clock. T.Y. Hilton threw a 13-yard touchdown pass to Bo Kaufman. They didn't get the extra point, but they lead 6-0. So T.Y. Hilton's got Moore back there. They've been snapping it to either Moore or Hilton, depending on what they want to do. Moore decides to let Hilton take the snap, and Hilton rolls. Hilton looking. He fires deep down the field, and it is caught by Mason Ertl, and Ertl goes down, but still, they tried to get a deep pass, and they did get it, but not enough. Not nearly enough for a possible touchdown play. However, exciting into the first half that Zionsville leads 6-0. Back with our halftime show in just a moment on the ISC Sports Network and Comcast 81.
Genesis Sports Performance is a private sports performance facility located in Indianapolis at 65th and Benford. Genesis is housed in a spacious 7,000 square foot facility with a state-of-the-art weight room and expansive turf area designed to help both athletes and adults achieve their true potential. The certified coaching staff at Genesis has a wide variety of experience, having worked with numerous professional athletes, youth athletes, and adults from different training backgrounds. Genesis Sports Performance programs are individually designed to improve speed and explosive strength, whereas the adult fitness programs are centered around improving body composition. To find out more, log on to GenesisSportsPerformance.com.
The Gridiron Gang is excited to now offer quarterback development training led by professional quarterback coach J.C. Boyce. From the beginner just getting started to the experienced seeking advanced refinement, Coach J.C. has worked with NFL, NCAA, high school, and youth quarterbacks. The fully comprehensive programs include both on and off-field training within age and skill level appropriate small groups. Coach JC's personalized approach accelerates the quarterback's learning curve and overall self-confidence.
Legacy is about sharing what you have learned and what you leave behind when you put the people you serve first. Dr. Donald Shelburne became a doctor to help athletes recover from knee injuries. That single focus has helped thousands of athletes continue to follow their dreams over the past 35 years. Dr. Rodney Benner understands what patients with knee pain want. They want to get back to working, playing, and living.
Come meet our family and we will take care of yours.
One focus, proven results.
We are the Shelburne Knee Center.
Hey, Colts fans, it's your favorite quarterback hater, Rob Mathis, number 98. To date, the Gridiron Games Foundation and I have provided over 300 scholarships to Indiana youth athletes with on and off-field life skills development. Our scholarship program has been transformational for many families. Donate today for a chance to watch a Colts game with Robert in the Gridiron Game Field Suite at Lucas Oil Stadium. Text Mathis to 765-739-GANG to donate today. Go Colts!
Well, in a game that was a meeting earlier in this tournament between New Era and Zionsville, it ended in a tie. This one, Zionsville has the lead 6-0 on New Era at the half. And while we have a moment, we'll remind you that the original Gridiron Gang believes budget limitations should not lead to football limitations. Go to theoriginalgridirongang.com and click on the Foundation tab to learn more about how their training services can be provided at limited or no cost to underrepresented communities and to members of military families. The original Gridiron Gang, developing skills both on and off the field. Along with Jim Leisure, I'm John Herrick. Jim, the 6-0 lead for Zionsville. How do they maintain this advantage?
What they really want to do is go on at least one decent drive where they go like maybe 10 plays and use about 10 minutes. When you're playing in a game and in a league that has a running clock, it doesn't clock doesn't stop on incompletions or ball out of bounds or any of that stuff. That's a really good way to shorten a football game.
And then if you're New Era, you've had your opportunities, haven't been able to quite capitalize yet. How do you stem the tide there and turn things around?
Just got to clean it up. Tell your kids, you know what, guys, we're not too far away. We're very, very close. You know, we're only down one score. We get down there, we score a touchdown. We can go for one from the 3-yard line, maybe win this game 7-6.
And it is Zionsville to get the ball to begin the third quarter. When we come back in just a moment, you're watching Gridiron Gang Youth Football on the ISC Sports Network and Comcast 81.
Genesis Sports Performance is a private sports performance facility located in Indianapolis at 65th and Benford. Genesis is housed in a spacious 7,000 square foot facility with a state-of-the-art weight room and expansive turf area designed to help both athletes and adults achieve their true potential. The certified coaching staff at Genesis has a wide variety of experience, having worked with numerous professional athletes, youth athletes, and adults from different training backgrounds. Genesis Sports Performance programs are individually designed to improve speed and explosive strength, whereas the adult fitness programs are centered around improving body composition. To find out more, log on to GenesisSportsPerformance.com.
The Gridiron Gang is excited to now offer quarterback development training led by professional quarterback coach J.C. Boyce. From the beginner just getting started to the experienced seeking advanced refinement, Coach J.C. has worked with NFL, NCAA, high school, and youth quarterbacks. The fully comprehensive programs include both on and off-field training with an age and skill level appropriate small groups. Coach J.C.'s personalized approach accelerates the quarterback's learning curve and overall self-confidence.
Legacy is about sharing what you have learned and what you leave behind when you put the people you serve first. Dr. Donald Shelburne became a doctor to help athletes recover from knee injuries. That single focus has helped thousands of athletes continue to follow their dreams over the past 35 years. Dr. Rodney Benner understands what patients with knee pain want. They want to get back to working, playing, and living.
Come meet our family and we will take care of yours.
One focus, proven results.
We are the Shelburne Knee Center.
Zionsville begins from their own 30 to start half number 2 in what is our 5th grade championship game on the ISC Sports Network and Comcast 81. Along with Jim Leisure, I'm John Herrick. Thank you so much for being with us on this Tuesday night.
You know, John, this could be a really big possession for either team here. If Zionsville is able to take the ball and use about 8 or 9 minutes and punch one in, that's going to put a lot of pressure on New Era's offense. And by the same token, if New Era can get a 3-and-out here and force Zionsville into the turnover possession, not really a punt, that'd be a big positive for them, and then get their offense untracked.
Zionsville went from left to right to begin the game. Now they're going right to left in green. New Era defending in those orange jerseys, and Zionsville continues to rotate quarterbacks between T.Y. Hilton and Liam Moore. It's Hilton this time, giving to Moore. Moore up the middle he goes, and nice gain to begin as he's taken down from behind by Dash Baxter. And Moore, who got shaken up earlier in the game, looks like he's a little bit slow to get up again.
Yeah, a little gimpy right there. You can see the look on his face. He's in a little bit of pain. I think coach is going to, well, I thought they were going to send him off. He's going to stay in there.
Remember, he was carried off the field earlier. Gain of 7, second down and 3.
Big offensive line there for Zionsville. There's 77 Franson, 78 Scriven. Big kids.
Hilton. Well, they give him some blocking, and Hilton might be off to the races here. Hilton with a stiff arm. Hilton still going. T.Y. Hilton is gone. That is a 63-yard touchdown run for T.Y. Hilton, the son of the former Colt. Well, did he make that look easy?
Yeah, you're going to take points any way you can get them. You didn't use a bunch of clock there, but what a huge run by Hilton. And I'm sure Coach Moore, as you see him with the hip bump there, and
there's T.Y.
a familiar-looking young man, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, just good blocks up front, good blocks downfield, and nothing else. You saw 23 down there. Moore, he didn't really block anybody, but he forced people to go around it. You know, we used to tell kids, hey, just get in people's way and force them to choose to go left or right, and then the back will choose off that. So you don't always have to pancake everybody. Moore was able to block just enough to force the defender around.
So a lot of teams like to go for 2 at this level, but Zionsville opted to go for one, and they didn't get it last time. They go for one again from the 3. Handoff Moore. Moore powering his way forward, looking like he wasn't going to get it initially, but Liam Moore barrels his way in for the 1-point try, and that makes it 13-0 Eagles.
Well, 2 things, John. 1, nice job of just finishing that run. 2, it's a good thing they did go for 1, because if it had been a 5-yard run, he wouldn't have got there. He barely got into the end zone from the 3. He would not have gotten in from the 5. So good choice by Coach Moore.
That drive didn't even take 2 minutes, and now Moore is banged up again. So I wonder how much more Liam Moore will take of this.
Well, and again, at this level, you probably don't have a real trainer over there, anybody that could tape that ankle or whatever it is that's bothering him. You'll see a lot of times where players, they'll just literally tape their ankles right around the shoe and the sock. They just tape it up.
And the Gridiron Gang does provide the trainers here. They do an excellent job. Zaire Jackson gets the first carry of the second half for New Era. Again, you start from your own 30 on every subsequent kickoff. So nice run out to the 37. Gain of 7, second down and 3.
So that's actually the fact that the Gridiron Gang provides athletic trainers is a huge deal. That's an area that in the last 30 years has come so far in high school sports and youth sports here in Indiana.
In triple I, or the Maryland I, being used here. Nice run by Michael Williams. And Michael Williams, who had 2 rushing touchdowns in a game earlier in this tournament, gets the carry again and makes a nice run into Zionsville territory for a first down.
Nice tackle by Jacob Nagel. Nagel tries the punch-out tackle where he's just going to try to wrap the ball carrier around the waist. You're going to see it here at the end, and then just swing the arm down and try to get the ball out right there. Nice try. It didn't work, but I like the effort.
It's a gain of 30 yards and a first down, and there's another big run by Baxter. Dash Baxter, off to the races he goes. And Baxter gets into the end zone with ease for the Gators.
Well, John, you hear about halftime adjustments all the time, and you know, whatever the offensive coaches on both sides have decided to do, and it looks like New Era is going to stay with that Maryland or triple I, but both teams scoring with under 2 minutes, so really nice job by the coaching staffs making some adjustments offensively. Now we'll see if the defensive staffs can counter that.
And it looks like New Era sticking with 1. Yep, they're going to go for it from the 3, which is a 1-point conversion try. Handoff up the middle he goes. Zaire Jackson waltzes in for the 1-point score. So 13-7 Zionsville. That did not take long. In fact, it took barely a minute.
Yeah,
and
whatever
both these teams scored in 3 plays.
Whatever you can do, we can do better. Watch this. So now it's more of a football game here.
Zionsville gets to start from their own 30. Again, the clock runs during all these situations. Only time it would stop is during a timeout, or if the referee calls for time himself and says we need to take a moment, or usually if there's an injury. This is the 5th grade championship game, the 6th grade championship game going on behind us on field number 2. It's T.Y. Hilton and Liam Moore back there. Snap goes a little bit wide of Hilton, but he gets it back. Hilton with some good room in front of him. Hilton jukes a couple of guys and goes down at midfield. So it looked like a busted play initially, but he was able to scoot forward for 20 yards to the 50 and a first down.
Yeah, I don't know if that wasn't just a pre-designed kind of counter play, though, where he kind of pitches left or fakes like he's going to pitch left and then just come back right. Either way, a huge hole opened up on the right side, and he just exploded through it.
New Era coaches trying to get their team lined up defensively. Someone else lined up at the H-back, Nolan Edwards. Hilton gives to Moore. Moore had trouble hanging on to it initially, and Moore goes down. Loses several yards. Zaire Jackson shooting through again, also helped out by Dash Baxter. And that is a loss of what is 6 yards for Zionsville to their own 46-yard line, 2nd and 16.
really nice blitz there by Jackson. So now if you're Zionsville's coaches and he's on the field, you know, you just tell your offensive linemen, guys, you got to have your eyes up. You can't be looking at the ground. You can't be looking at your shoes. When you see a linebacker, you know, blitz to a gap like that, you got to be able to at least get a hand on it.
New Era trying to swap out one more player and get 11 on the field. Hilton from the gun. Takes the snap and fakes. Gets by the first wave of defenders. Hilton still going. Hilton close to a first down and pushed out of bounds there by Demir Smoot. But he's very close. Gets the lost yardage back and then some.
Yeah, I think that's a design play, John. They're going to basically fake the ball to Liam Moore to the left. Liam Moore's a big load. He's had a nice game, so New Era has to respect that. And then the speedy T.Y. Hilton just keeps the ball back to the right. Tight end or offensive tackle to the right just blocks out. T.Y. steps up underneath.
It's a gain of 11. Sets up 3rd down and 3.
And you wonder, too, if they can run that the other way. Back to the wide side of the field here where you just put Moore in motion from left to right and then T.Y. go the other way.
On 3rd and short, Hilton. Will he throw? No, he gets shoved out of bounds. Learning moment for T.Y. Got to just throw that ball away.
Yeah, they only released 2 receivers, and New Era had 3 defensive backs back there. So, yeah, I agree with you. Just find somebody, throw the football over his head and out of bounds. Now, you do have to throw it close enough that in the referee's opinion, there was a receiver downfield, and Coach Moore kind of very frustratingly says, punt it. You can tell he's a little frustrated as he walks off the field.
Yep. But again, you're still close enough to midfield that you're going to pin New Era back relatively deep in their own territory as they put it at the 20.
Yeah, this field is actually, I guess, 90 yards long. There's a 45-yard line, and it's that's the stripe right in the middle of the field. So 90-yard field and goes from the, I guess, the 45 down to the 20. Well, we'll see if New Era can duplicate that offensive firepower that they had. They're going to line up in the Maryland eye again.
Certainly have had success with it. Baxter gets down the sideline. Baxter's got Hilton in front of him, gets by him for a second. Mason Erdl has it, able to knock him down, and Baxter is hurt. Oh no.
Yeah, I think he landed on the football. He's going to have the wind knocked out of him. This is that old. You watch the tackle. He falls right on the football, right in his belly, and then a defender falls on top of him. That's T.Y. redirects him, and boom, right there. I think he's going to be all right. He just had the wind knocked out of him.
Founded in 2019 by Indianapolis Colts head coach Frank Reich and his wife Linda, Not Today envisions a world which cherishes and protects the beauty and innocence of every child. Not Today's work would not be possible without partnerships from donors who believe in the mission. Find out more at nottoday.org. That is KNOT today.org. And while they tend to Baxter, we will show you some action of what's going on over on field number 2 in the 6th grade championship game.
Short of the line to gain by about 3 yards.
Yeah, Solomon Nichols was in on that tackle. Also, Joshua Day did a nice job of forcing Foster to cut back into Nichols and hold his ground very well. Looks like we're going to have a penalty, though, against Zionsville.
So that'll negate the run. Instead, it'll be a 5-yard penalty here on Zionsville. So that makes it now 3rd down and 8.
Must have been a procedure call with it being a 5-yard penalty. So quite seeing the signals from the officials on what's going on. Zionsville coaches don't look too happy about it.
There you see Zionsville head coach Dustin Albright. Not exactly happy.
All right, we'll continue to keep you posted on what's going on over there. They're in the fourth quarter. We're still in the third here. And Baxter helped off getting some water from his coaches. But in the meantime, it's first down for New Era at the Zionsville 47-yard line. The handoff goes to Zaire Jackson, and Jackson rumbles his way forward.
Just power football here, John. This is just ISO. That time they, out of the triple stack there, they sent two backs to the left. First one leads on the linebacker. You know, if you're Zionsville, you just got to learn to kind of wrong arm these kick out blocks. You got to attack the blocker. You can't catch the block. You got to go drive him back into the ball carrier, force the ball carrier to redirect, bounce out toward the sidelines, where hopefully you have secondary run support by the corners and the safeties.
Gain of about 7, second down and 3. Oh, he almost lost the football on the snap, and he gets buried. So Knowles had trouble handling the snap, and Matthew Anderson, the defensive lineman for Zionsville, shoots the gap and makes the tackle.
Really nicely done. Again, you got a young man who's angling, what we call angling or slanting toward the ball. That's a real good job, a real good way to keep offensive linemen's hands off of your body. Angle, step one way, rip the back arm, come out underneath, and voila, what do you see? The ball carrier.
3rd and 6 for the Gators. This time it goes to Smoot. Smoot twisted down by Logan Willoughby. Nice play by Willoughby, but still in the realm where they're going to go for it. 5th play of the drive coming up here for New Era. 4th down and about 2 after that 4-yard gain.
Zionsville played that a little bit more aggressively that time, a little more physically. You got to. If you're going to play power football, you got to match power with power.
Both teams have all 3 of their timeouts to use, and those timeouts, by the way, are 30-second timeouts when they do get used. This could be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Knowles on 4th down. It's close. I think they might say he's got it. Yep, they just gave him the first down. And of course, you know, Andres Knowles is going to get the ball in key situations. And it's a fresh set of downs for New Era when we begin the 4th quarter after these messages on the ISC Sports Network and Comcast 81.
Hey, Colts fans, it's your favorite quarterback hater, Rob Mathis, number 98. To date, the Gridiron Games Foundation and I have provided over 300 scholarships to Indiana youth athletes with on and off-field life skills development. Our scholarship program has been transformational for many families. Donate today for a chance to watch a Colts game with Robert in the Gridiron Game Field Suite at Lucas Oil Stadium. Text Mathis to 765-739-GANG to donate today. Go Colts!
Zionsville with a 6-point lead, but New Era is driving. And how big, Jim, is that missed extra point by New Era, or rather by Zionsville, that they had earlier in this game, where they came close to scoring but could not get in after they scored a touchdown?
Well, extra points at every level, John, can absolutely win games for you or kill you. And, you know, we used to really implore to our kids, we always talk about getting our point, get our point. And whether we were going for 2 or 1, we had to get our point. Because if you don't, you end up chasing points. But obviously for New Era, they're in a position here where they can score. They now only have to go from the 3 to take the lead.
Triple I. The man who dots it is Braden Morris. And Morris this time, or rather, excuse me, Baxter. And Baxter runs forward and has another nice gain.
And the big fellow there, Colin Hannon, number 76, is able to run him down from behind. So nice job from his defensive lineman to be able to fight down the line of scrimmage and then redirect and catch a pretty speedy back.
Seventh play of the drive coming up here. They were late starting the clock. Now they get it going. Handoff goes to Michael Williams. And Michael Williams Jr. up the gut he goes. He's got a few rushing touchdowns in this tournament. Another nice one. Looking for maybe another one here.
Again, what great movement by the offensive line there. They're blocking those guys 4 or 5 yards down the field. It's 76 and 79 for New Era. Tolles and Chris Lamb Jr. just mauling people.
Logan Willoughby and Mason Ertl combined on the tackle. Rolling left, Knowles. Knowles knocked down. I don't know if he might have tripped or lost his balance anyway, but Caden Davidson gets credit for the tackle.
I thought Bo Kaufman was there, number 7-2, was there just enough to kind of knock him off. But you know, I tell you, New Era, I like what they're doing. I did this lots of times as a high school coach. I just kept running the same play over and over. I didn't care. Stop it. You haven't stopped it yet. If I'm getting 6 or 7 yards of carry, I'm going to run the same play. And I used to tell my linemen, you know, you got to get up here with an attitude. You got to tell them defensive linemen, here we come. We're coming again right after. And you just keep going. I'd go right.
3rd and 5. And this is to Zaire Jackson. Jackson gets upended, a little bit shy. They need the 11 for the first down. They've got the 13. So it's 4th and about 2.
77 there, Max Franson. Defensive line, nice job of getting penetration and tripping him up.
Probably the biggest play of the game right here.
Yep, I just run ISO power right.
And Zionsville's defense wants to talk it over and make sure they are in the right alignment. So take us into the huddle, Jim, on both these sides. What do you think they're looking at here?
Well, I'll tell you, what New Era should run is power ISO right, but what if they ran a bootleg off of that? If they actually faked it to that 3rd back going right and had the quarterback booted around the corner, he'd run all the way to Tipton. There wouldn't be anyone near him. I don't know, again, if that's in their playbook. I used to love bootlegs, especially in these short yardage situations. Now, we sometimes ran a bootleg, and we also had a receiver, the backside tight end, or maybe the play side tight end block down and then run a post corner. But I think if he just kept it out the left side, he'd probably run for a mile. But in this short yardage situation here, honestly, don't reinvent the wheel. Hand it to the 3rd guy through. Have your tackle and tight end block out. Have your guard block in. Send the other 2 on the linebackers.
Dash Baxter dots the I. Quarterback keeper. They have enough for the first down.
I believe they do.
They needed to get to the 11. They spot him at the 9. That is a gain of 4.
Yeah, just past the 10-yard line there. So, and now we go back to power I. But again, if you've got a bootleg in your package, this would be a great time to pull it out.
10th play of the drive coming up here for New Era. They got this ball with 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. They've had it ever since. Hand off Michael Williams. Williams blasting ahead. Williams is in for the touchdown.
And again, just great job of that right side, right guard, right tackle. That's Tolles. Matthews, watch this, just boom, just double team, driving people. 55 is up there, covering people up. Nice job.
A 9-yard touchdown run for Michael Williams, Jr. Now they try to go for the 1-point try to try to take the lead. They don't. Zionsville all over it.
He actually lateraled it back. I love it. You got nothing to lose. I mean, even if they recover the fumble, if you fumble it, it's still a dead ball. So, smart play.
Opportunity here for Zionsville now. Clock is running. They've started all their drives from the 30-yard line in the second half. Remember, Hilton had the 63-yard touchdown run. That made it 13-0. Baxter came back at a 33-yard touchdown run. And now Williams gets the touchdown run here to tie it up at 13. Both teams have gone for 1 point and missed each time.
Well, you got to expect a lot of T.Y. Hilton. You got to expect a lot of Liam Moore. Maybe a pass to Mason Ertl, number 11.
Kaufman was the one who caught the receiving touchdown in the first half for Zionsville. Hilton lining up with Moore to his left. And that's a snap to Moore. Moore, nowhere to go. New Era's clearly studied that play well. Felt like the entire defensive backfield was in there. Chris Lamb Jr. able to tackle him, and Lamb said, hey, I had the football for a second. Lamb struggling to get up. Good sportsmanship by the Zionsville coaching staff, saying, hey.
I saw 20, Brylan Willis in there as well, and again, and 6, Zaire Jackson just still blitzing. I mean, again, you got a coach in the huddle there. You got to remind your linemen, guys, you got to have your eyes up. You can zone block this, John, where everybody just blocks the gap to their left or their gap to the right, and you send it back the other way. Make it real simple.
That's a loss of 5. High snap. Moore can't get it, and it's loose, and they've got it. New Era's got the football, and running back the other way with it is Chris Lamb Jr. Touchdown, I believe.
Now, I think they're going to say he's down.
Down, okay. At this level, I did not hear a whistle. The whistle I did hear came from field 2, but they say he's.
The official at the top of your screen here, you're going to see, let's see if he, the ball's still loose, it's still loose. And right there, he goes down, I think. And, but the ball's still loose. I don't know. We'll see that again. The official at the top of the screen, though, was pointing to the ground. You can see him on the.
There you go.
Either way, big possession for New Era here. And again,
they get it at the Zionsville 22-yard line. 5:55 left.
Yeah, I was going to say, now, I think that the ball was still loose and he should have had a touchdown unless, and I don't know, CYO plays rules where big fellas can't carry the ball.
They give it left side to Jackson. Of course, if you're New Era, the nice thing you'd like to do on this drive, force Zionsville to use their last 2 timeouts, burn the clock, and score a TD here.
That's exactly what you're trying to do here. Again, you want to stay in the huddle, for about 30 seconds or so, let the clock tick, 10 seconds, get up there and run the ISO.
I was going to say, I thought it looked to me like Chris Lamb Jr. was still on his feet when he picked it up. But they say down.
Yeah, obviously no replay at this level, but yeah, it looked to me like the ball was still loose too. His knee was not down. It was number 20, Brylan Willis, who was like on the ground on a knee trying to pick it up. And looks like, and I don't know that there is a weight limit for ball carriers or not, John. I know it's CYO, 3rd and 4, 5th and 6th. They have stripers, and they have double stripers, and double stripers cannot carry the football. If they intercept a pass, it's dead right there. If they pick up a fumble, it's dead right there too. So I don't know that applies in this particular tournament, but if it does, maybe that's why they blew it down.
New Era using their first timeout of the half, and while they do that, let's tell you more about the original Gridiron Gang, which believes budget limitations should not lead to football limitations. Go to the originalgridirongang.com. Click on the Foundation tab to learn more about how their training services can be provided at limited or no cost to underrepresented communities and to members of military families. The Original Gridiron Gang, developing skills both on and off the field. Along with Jim Leisure, I'm John Herrick, and while we have a moment too, let's thank our ISC Sports Network crew. Jordan Shue on the directing side, Wes Wolf on replay here, Sean Walker, our camera operators, Alan Hughes, Rob Lynch, and Chase Eisnogel on the other truck. The director, Vince Morellis. Also our commentators, Kurt Darling and Dale Carlson. Replay, Aaron Scheibelhut. On the graphics, David Cohn. Camera operators, Ian Wheeler, Becca Kelly, and Alex Laverne. Those are the crews providing everything tonight. Less than 5 minutes to go. Handoff. On 2nd down, make it 3rd down after that minimal gain there for Michael Williams Jr.
Huge possession here again for both sides. If you're New Era and you get a 1st down, obviously more opportunity to run some clock and ultimately score. And if you're Zionsville, you got to stop them here. You got a 3rd and short. You're gonna have to stop them 2 times in a row.
The deep back is Baxter. Baxter has already scored 1.